You're listening to WZYE 95.9 FM. You are listening to WZYE 95.9 FM, the most influential name in Caribbean radio in the tri-state area. Broadcasting from East Orange, New Jersey, the most influential name in Caribbean radio. WZYE 95.9 FM.
Frustration get the better of you and make you do things you should never do. You got to keep the faith, you can't surrender. You never know, tomorrow may be brighter. Behind every dark cloud, there's a silver lining. So don't give up hope now. We gotta keep on trying. Keep on going. We gotta keep on moving on. As long as you have health and strength, reaching your goal, nothing should prevent. Every time you fall, get up again. Don't sit down there like that and complain. You got to stand up and continue fighting. Don't give up, keep courage, you must win. Don't you know, behind every dark cloud, there's a silver lining. So don't give up hope now. We gotta keep on trying. Oh Lord, we gotta keep on going. We gotta keep on moving on. Obstacles will get in the way, stumbling blocks to hinder your day, but you can't afford to let them stop you. No matter how hard it is to go through, you got to stand up and continue fighting. Endurance shall win in the ending. Don't you know, behind every dark cloud, silver lining. So don't give up hope now. We gotta keep on trying. Oh Lord, we gotta keep on going. We gotta keep on moving on. Strong positive mind, negative thoughts, leave them behind. We got to go forward in sure certainty. Let no element humbug that possibility. But if you give up, you have no way of knowing if next day would have brought good tidings. Don't you know, behind every dark cloud, there's a silver lining. So don't give up hope now. We gotta keep on trying. Oh Lord, we gotta keep on going. We gotta keep on moving on. Behind every dark cloud,
It seems like forever, and your nights of confusion has been so long. Your ship has lost anchor, and the storm that you drifted. Just hold on to Jesus and ride out your storm. Ride out your storm. God is still with you. You may not feel it, but you're not alone. You're hurting now, but your morning is coming. Lord of mercy, just hold on to Jesus and ride out your storm. Remember his promise. He said, I'll never forsake you. Though the waters are troubled, they'll do you no harm. Don't give up the battle, for your answer is coming. Just hold on to Jesus and just ride out your storm. Ride out your storm. God is still with you. You may not feel it, but you're not alone. You're hurting now, but your morning is coming. Lord of mercy, just hold on to Jesus and ride out your storm. Ride out your storm. God is still with you. You may not feel it, but you're not alone. You're hurting now, but your morning is coming. Lord of mercy, just hold on to Jesus.
Keep me as the apple of thine eye. Hide me under the shadow of thy wing. O Lord, my Savior. It's so hard to deal with personal struggle. So sad when you feel alone in your trouble. It's real hard when you want to talk to a brother. It's so bad because of how some look at you after. So Jesus, cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Jesus, cover me. Cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Jesus, cover me. Cover my head. Satan want me dead. Cover me back from human attack. So Jesus, cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Jesus, cover me while you fix it. Jesus, cover me. People see you smile, but don't know the hurt that you're feeling. Even as God's child, at times your heart does be bleeding. Where can you go when you're really looking for healing? Who know how to flow when your soul needs some restoring. So Jesus, cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Jesus, cover me. Cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Jesus, cover me. Cover me home from evils unknown. Cover my feet so I'll never retreat. Oh Lord, cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Jesus, cover me. Cover my brother, cover my sister, them who under pressure. Cover the preacher, every church worker, the young believer. Cover the worship leader and intercessor, every gospel minister. Cover. Jesus alone is the one who has the real answer. The one on the throne is the true and loving Father. He will hold your hand and keep you from going under. He will make you stand and let you know he's a fixer. Cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Jesus, cover me while you fix it. Jesus, cover me. Cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Jesus, cover me. Cover me mind. You know the struggle sometimes. Cover me mouth, that the wrong thing wouldn't come out. Oh Lord, cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Cover me while you fix it. Jesus, cover me. Cover the Christian in the midst of aggression with the power of your right hand. Jesus, cover them helpless children. Jesus, defend them. Send help from heaven. Jesus, cover all them radio stations that blessing the nation. Grant divine protection. Jesus, cover me.
Go placidly amid the noise and haste, and remember what peace there may be in silence. As far as possible without surrender, be on good terms with all persons. Speak your truth quietly and clearly, and listen to others, even the dull and ignorant. They too have their story. Avoid loud and aggressive persons. They are vexations to the spirit. If you compare yourself with others, you may become vain and bitter, for always there will be greater and lesser persons than yourself.
You are a child of the universe, no less than the trees and the stars. You have a right to be here, and whether or not it is clear to you, no doubt the universe is unfolding as it should.
Enjoy your achievements as well as your plans. Keep interested in your own career. However humble, it is a real possession in the changing fortunes of time. Exercise caution in your business affairs, for the world is full of trickery. But let this not blind you to what virtue there is. Many persons strive for high ideals, and everywhere life is full of heroism. Be yourself. Especially do not feign affection. Neither be cynical about love, for in the face of all aridity and disenchantment, it is as perennial as the grass. Take kindly the counsel of the years, gracefully surrendering the things of youth. Nurture strength of spirit to shield you in sudden misfortune, but do not distress yourself with imaginings. Many fears are born of fatigue and loneliness beyond a wholesome discipline. Be gentle with yourself. You are a child of the universe, no less than the trees and the stars. You have a right to be here. And whether or not it is clear to you, no doubt the universe is unfolding as it should. Therefore, be at peace with God, whatever you conceive Him to be, and whatever your labors and aspirations in the noisy confusion of life. Keep peace with your soul, with all its sham, drudgery, and broken dreams. It is still a beautiful world. Be careful. Strive to be happy.
You are a child of the universe, no less than the trees and the stars. You have a right to be here. You are a child of the universe, no less than the trees and the stars. You have a right to be here. You are a child of the universe, no less than the trees and the stars. You have a right to be here. You are a child of the universe, no less than the trees.
Truer words were never spoken. The less you associate with some people, the more your life will improve. Anytime you tolerate mediocrity in others, it increases your mediocrity. An important attribute in successful people is their impatience with negative thinking and negative acting people. As you grow, your associates will change. Some of your friends will not want you to go on. They will want you to stay where they are. Friends that don't help you climb will want you to crawl. Your friends will stretch your vision or choke your dream. Those that don't increase you will eventually decrease you. Consider this. Never receive counsel from unproductive people. Never discuss your problems with someone incapable of contributing to the solution, because those who never succeed themselves are always first to tell you how. Not everyone has a right to speak into your life. You are certain to get the worst of the bargain when you exchange ideas with the wrong person. Don't follow anyone who's not going anywhere. With some people you spend an evening. With others, you invest it. Be careful where you stop to inquire for directions along the road of life. Wise is the person who fortifies his life with the right friendships. If you run with wolves, you will learn how to howl. But if you associate with eagles, you will learn how to soar to great heights. A mirror reflects a man's face, but what he is really like is shown by the kind of friends he chooses. The simple but true fact of life is that you become like those with whom you closely associate, for the good and the bad. Note, be not mistaken. This is applicable to family as well as friends. Yes, do love, appreciate, and be thankful for your family, for they will always be your family, no matter what. Just know that they are human first, and though they are family to you, they may be a friend to someone else and will fit somewhere in the criteria above. In prosperity, our friends know us. In adversity, we know our friends. Never make someone a priority when you are only an option for them. If you are going to achieve excellence in big things, you develop the habit in little matters. Excellence is not an exception. It is a prevailing attitude.
Yes, 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 yes. Let me say a special hello to all the WZYE 95.9 FM listeners. Of course, ladies and gentlemen, it's Sunday Talk, Let's Talk Politics with Uncle Tommy, Professor Walsh, and you on WZYE 95.9 FM. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, we come to you every Sunday from 1 to 4 p.m.
That's every Sunday from 1 to 4 p.m. And you know how we do it here, ladies and gentlemen? We are the only radio program on the planet where we originate, we don't imitate. Let me repeat that. We originate, we don't imitate. And as we always say, it doesn't matter what color t-shirt you have on. You have on a pink t-shirt, a black t-shirt, a orange t-shirt. Each and every one is welcome on Sunday Talk, Let's Talk Politics. Doesn't matter what planet you're from Mazatanius, Xenaranius, Sonaranius. Each and every one is welcome on Sunday Talk, Let's Talk Politics. And we're the only program on the planet that have an oath / pledge to the people who listen to us here on WZYE 95.9 FM. Take a listen.
Ansam LeBon and Marshall Nesbitt solemnly swear to conduct this radio program in a true, fair, and balanced manner, ensuring that all perspectives are given equal consideration and that the information presented is objective and unbiased. We pledge to provide a platform where diverse voices can be heard, fostering open and constructive dialogue that serves the best interests of our audience and community. Our commitment is to uphold the principles of journalistic integrity and ethical broadcasting throughout the duration of this program. Thank you.
And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. The only program on the planet with an oath / pledge to the people that will bring you the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Let me bring in my pal, the man himself, the former commissioner in Newark, New Jersey. I know he wore that jersey for a specific or particular reference today. Yeah. I know. I went
That's
into his
correct.
brain and figured it out.
And I wanna thank you for taking the Newark youths to the stock market on was that Friday or Thursday?
Friday.
Yeah, that was commendable. I appreciate what you did, and you got to keep doing more of that sort of thing.
You know, Tommy, it's interesting that as a person from Chumaka, Claventel, right? And I know I'm an outlier, Tommy. I know I'm an outlier, right? How I consider myself an outlier.
You consider yourself. You may not be,
Yeah,
but you consider yourself.
yeah. I may not be, but I consider myself an outlier. And Tommy, let me reveal something to the people of Trinidad and Tobago for the first time. I am a person like to delve in doing things for the first time, right? Doing things for the first time.
Right.
So when I worked at the New York Stock Exchange, my goal, and I'm saying my goal here, was to have the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago be the first person from the Caribbean to ring the opening or the closing bell on the New York Stock Exchange.
Which you did accomplish.
No, I didn't.
Didn't he ring the opening bell?
No, we go get to that. We go get to that. And at that point in time, Patrick Manning was the Prime Minister.
Oh, okay.
And I had a friend who worked in the Ministry of National Security. He was an advisor to Martin Joseph. Right? He lived in this country, but he was Martin Joseph right-hand person. And I said to him, I said, boss, listen, I want the Prime Minister of Trinidad to be the first person of the Caribbean to ring the opening bell. Them fellas watch me. You opening bell? What is the big deal ringing an opening bell? Opening bell? You ring no way. Where's get from that? I say, Tommy, way, boy, way.
They just didn't understand.
All right. So let me fast forward now to the occasion that happened with Prime Minister Rowley. Right? And I ain't casting no aspersions on anybody. But my goal, and I'm saying my goal, was for him to
Yeah.
ring the opening or closing bell on the New York Stock Exchange. But other people had other goals for him to ring the bell on the minor league exchange. You know, there is major leagues and minor leagues, right? Right? In baseball, there's the major league, there's single A, double A, and triple A. Single A is the low one, then double A is the next level, then triple A is the next level, then the major leagues, right? Many people, when Dr. Really rang the bell on the NASDAQ, which is not the New York Stock Exchange, and that is located uptown Manhattan, right? And them don't even have a floor cell. But anyway, that is besides the point. He rang the bell on the NASDAQ. And many people were saying to me that he rang the bell on the New York Stock Exchange. He rang the opening bell on the exchange. But that wasn't the New York Stock Exchange. That was the NASDAQ. And the NASDAQ is like the minor leagues to the New York Stock Exchange. So where those kids from Newark in the Newark Board of Education, Newark School Board of Education went, they went to the big leagues. They were in the big leagues. They were in the major leagues. You understand? And Tommy. But a goal of mine, when the idea came up about the Laventil to Wall Street Empowerment Center or the Laventil to Wall Street Scholarship Foundation, and Prime Minister Rowley denied the black youths of Mova and environs an opportunity, right? And I'm saying this, an opportunity, thinking for the future, for those kids to be some of the first kids in the Caribbean to visit the United States of America and go on the floor of the New York Stock Exchange, and a great possibility ring the opening or closing bell. You understand? Because what is this quote again? Without a vision, people perish. Is that what they say, Tommy? Is it something like that? I think your mic muted. Unmute your mic.
Or the nation will.
Yeah, something like that, right? Something to that effect. So, and that is why, Tommy, I have coined Prime Minister Rowley a, a transactional leader, and Fali Chavez Augustine a transactional leader. Because just like when we had your friend here, Tommy, Gordon Joseph, and we asked him, name one innovative item in the last 9 years that Prime Minister Rowley have done. He went fishing. He went down by Bizram. He went down,
Bizram.
eh?
By Bizram.
Yeah, he went down by Bizram.
Fishing
He
pond.
went, he went down in the fishing pond. He went down in Sally Bay. He went down
Yeah.
in Maracas Bay. He went down in Carnage Bay. He went to Macreep and all. Macreep, you know where Macreep is, right?
Yeah. Or you went all the way up to Oko too.
He went up Toko, all the way up Toko. He went all about the place. All about the place. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
And before he leave, he went to the Waffle House too. Right? He went to the Waffle House. Because, simple question, Tommy. But, Tommy, those kids, Tommy, the kids and them, Tommy, Tommy, you wouldn't believe the Hannah.
The level of elation.
Correct is right, Tommy. Correct is right.
Yeah, because I know that's a very special thing to do.
It was special, and you could see it, boy. These kids, it was an eye-opening experience for them.
Thanks to you. I mean, I want to commend you for your vision.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
And
yeah. Go ahead, Tommy.
it's only that they were blind. That's why they couldn't see the Wall Street, the Laventil to Wall Street project through. That was blindness.
You're being generous. Blind.
When you're blind, you can't see the light. You can never see the light.
You're being generous, Tommy. They were just blind. Not just blind, Tommy. But I can say this. Tommy. The PNM don't really want to see people of Lavantil, Movan, and environs elevate themselves.
Well, we can when we look at the AfriXM Bank, we realize that it's not just people of Larantil Mova, it's people of Afri roots that they don't want to see do anything positive.
Yeah, Tommy. And you know, Tommy, it's interesting, eh? The there is a program in Newark where they're teaching the kids to trade stocks,
Yes.
right? And I'm on the board of the organization called Simple Trader Pro. And I
Right.
mentioned to them, I said, listen, what we need to do, we need to take these kids to the floor of the exchange. And they was asking me, well, you think you could get that done? You think you could do that? you know, you know, you
You
know,
ask answers.
they asked answers. I said, I said, I said, listen, don't worry about it. We go get it done. Pick certain among the kids. We could only take like 30 kids, right?
Yeah,
So them are
because
just
yeah,
yeah,
security concern.
right. So they pick 30. I said they pick 30 kids. We go organize. I go organize, and we go fight. And Tommy I ain't lying, but they was nervous, but they was nervous because they ain't sure, you know.
Hmm.
And I understand why they were nervous. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Because
because they just don't know better.
and it's a big deal. It's a big deal.
Yeah, it
You know.
is.
So coming down, I tell them, don't worry. You know. And so what I did, Tommy, is that I took myself back to when I worked at the exchange. I woke up 5:30. I get the 6:39 train.
You took the pattern.
Yeah, I took the New Jersey Transit and I took the Pattern. And
Mhm.
I got there about 7:30, right? So I met with my buddy at the exchange and thing. You know, they had name tags for all the kids, and everything was set up. So when the kids came, everything was already in place. All I had to do is put on the name tags. And it's funny, Tommy, I didn't even notice. Each one of the kids that came in, Tommy, I shake each one of their hands. And somebody took
You shook every hand.
pictures of, yeah, every hand, every single hand. And somebody took pictures and sent me about 12 to 15 of the pictures. I said, wait, I, I, I don't even remember doing that. It's just certain things just come natural now. You want to make the kids feel welcome,
Yes.
talk to them, what's your name, and so on and so forth. And it was a life-changing experience, man. But I would have liked, and I still would like to do it, to give that life-changing experience to some kids in Trinidad and Tobago.
Yep.
You understand? Because it's a life-changing experience that, I mean, and
No, as it is right now, all you have to do is ask the Lord for health and strength and time, because it doesn't seem as though it's going to happen in this administration.
yeah, well, I think if Kamala Prasad decides to the prime minister, we go get it done.
Absolutely.
I feel so, and I ain't saying that to be saying it. I have a good feeling about that.
Well,
You know?
based on her track record, she seems more poised to make that happen, or make good things happen for people of
Yeah.
Afro descent than we see the blackest man.
Correct is right. And you know what, Tommy? To be honest with you, I not wasting my time with the PNM again. Seriously. Seriously.
It's
The
just
only
it's just the leadership is the problem, you know.
well, yeah, but Tommy, if so, what about the rest of them?
Well, when you're led by a tyrant or a bully, you have any voice?
If you want to,
Yeah, but that it could get you banished.
you gotta, you gotta pick, you gotta choose, I chose, Tommy. I could have sit down there and take whatever they was doing and the PNM, we love you, so we take great care of you. Only the PNM understand. I could have been saying down there still singing that song.
Well, it's good to wake up sometimes.
Sometimes, Tommy, you're being
According
generous.
all the times, all the time, all times, because when you wake up, you live.
correct is right. Let me say good afternoon to Caribbean Soul. Caribbean Soul was the first in, boy. Yeah, boy. Caribbean Soul, welcome, boy.
Good
Caribbean
afternoon.
Soul say, all you have Kingsley crying right now. They try to take away his father of America life. Yeah, boy. We have something about that too.
Mm-hmm.
I don't wish that kind of thing
And
on
no
the
one.
president. I
No,
don't wish that on no one.
yeah,
I don't wish that on no one, no one, no one, no one.
you
I
guys
don't
know
wish.
what your political
Yeah,
ideology is.
yeah.
It-
I don't wish that on no one at all. Anthony Barhu, welcome.
Welcome,
Anthony Barhu.
Anthony. It's your first time.
Anthony, yeah, I think it's his first time. Anthony, where you joining us from? Anthony say vote.unc.2025. Caribbean Soul say Fitzgerald Hines Boston is the longest standing national security minister. What a boast.
Well, I read that in the Guardian this morning that he's served the longest
Eh.
in that ministry.
Hey, Tommy, you ever thought that people will say that Fitzgerald Hines was worse than Stuart Young?
Never thought so. Never thought so. But it is what it is,
But
and it cannot be
correct
otherwise.
is right.
And it cannot be otherwise.
You know, it is sad that we have to talk about, and we have to go back to talk about Patrick Manning and his decision making. He never made that guy a minister. You know, the best that guy could have done was a junior minister, and Patrick Manning. You know?
You know, it's only in hindsight we could see that Patrick was on point in almost everything that he did.
He was spot on, spot on. Yeah,
It's just in my particular in my particular instance, he made an error.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I
because
mean, you know, he
because if
made
he
some.
because if he didn't see what was coming in 2010, that was blindness.
Yeah, yeah. Bernadette Kara, welcome. Bernadette say hi, good day to all. Bernadette says too much killing every day in China. TNT, God help us. Just too much, boy. Too much, too much. Bernadette say Rowley must go. He's not good for our country. John Bujam, welcome. Good evening to you. JB Harper, welcome. Good evening to you. Atia, Altia,
Altair, yeah,
Atia.
Altair.
Caribbean Soul, you really believe that? Wait, if Caribbean Soul really believe, let me go back. Caribbean Soul say, it's a good thing you never ring the bell. Or we'd have blind that whole New York Stock Exchange
Oh
organization.
boy, everything happens for a good reason.
Oh God.
Well, Caribbean soul.
Yeah, that might be the largest drop in the Dow Jones in the history, boy. You tell me. Oh
Wow.
God. Yeah. Oh God. Ah. Caribbean Soul said out that funny. The Minister, Mova Defender, welcome. The Minister of National Security job is not to make us feel safe. 13 plus murders from Friday to now, and the weekend isn't over.
Yeah,
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 yeah.
it's a bloody weekend.
A
A
bloody
sad,
weekend.
a sad weekend according to DJ Bravo. A sad place.
And Tommy, you know, you are so correct. Tommy, Tommy, it, has there been any government worse than this one? And
I like the word you use too.
worse.
Worse.
Yeah, anything worse than this government?
According to Sprangalang, nothing in Wassa.
No, no, seriously. I mean, oh boy. John, welcome. But Tommy, you know today there was an article in in the Guardian where they have 9 bidders for the Petrosian.
Mm,
We go play that. We go play that. And they say there are 9.
well, that's a good thing. That means
Okay.
that nine companies or 9 persons see some possibility and they're hopeful about it, which is quite good.
So Altia, where you joining us from? Altia said Wall Street, all you stop lying now. Big men like all you talk to the youths and help them. Wall Street, you dunce.
Hmm. Well, you know who that is.
Yeah. Altia, welcome. How you doing?
Call my name there today. What going on?
No,
Good day.
yeah, we call your name. What we call Bisram name for again?
Or we talk about fishing,
We was gonna send somebody down there
to
to
do some
fish.
fishing. Yeah.
Yeah, Bisram, we was gonna send somebody down by you to do some fishing
Oh
down in
yes,
fishing pond.
I'll be on.
Yeah.
I mash it up. Some fried chicken with red bean and rice with a glass of Balize juice.
What?
Where does get that? Where does get that juice?
Yeah, Balize juice.
Yeah.
By me, I plenty Balize. You just squeeze the juice.
Oh, okay.
But when you drink that,
Mm.
it just blight you. Right? All it is.
It has,
You know me?
it has blight
You
you.
have to pray. You have to pray before you drink it. Otherwise, it blight you.
Hmm.
But wait,
Sign of the
But-
course.
but Bisram, how you gonna be drinking that
Yeah.
juice then? How you gonna be drinking that juice then? Oh, you
I
want get
don't drink it, but
you gotta take a purge
easy to
after.
drink.
You gotta purge after. You take a
Yes,
center and salts.
yes,
Yeah. Right after. You gotta take center and
Because like-
salts.
You blight you, just blight you. There is.
Eh.
You ever for 5 years, right?
Mm.
You ever check and see how much development this man they call Infant Ali?
Yeah, the president of Ghana. Yeah.
You ever check and see how he match with the people? It's the same thing that have here now. Like African and Indians, you have over there. But the Africans now clinging more because they get more things done like
Yeah.
road,
Yeah.
houses.
Yeah.
The government helping them build houses, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ali's a very progressive man.
Easy and everything, you know.
Yeah.
And providing a place. Just say there are poor people there. Everybody must have a house.
Yeah.
Check and see in all the Muslim countries, a Muslim, and see how they develop. You could run through that and see how they develop and they're wealthy. You could check that for me.
Yeah, I go check it out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
check all the Muslim countries like Iraq and these other places and things, right?
Yeah, man.
You're all
Okay, man.
listening.
Yeah, thanks. You know, Tommy, a young lady just going back to Ghana. She went back to Ghana for a 2-week vacation.
Mm-hmm.
Hear what she says. She says, listen, if it's one thing, the roads are pristine, Tommy. And he said, and I told her, I said, listen, you know, when you have good roads, you just save plenty money, you know.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? Because when you have good roads, your car run over a pothole. You have to go and get new shocks. You have to get new tires. You have to get all your fender might bust, all kind of thing. When you have good roads, it saves you a lot of money. Infrastructure is significantly important. You see? And that is part of the problem we have in Trinidad and Tobago. Big problem. Bujam, welcome. Indra, welcome. Caribbean Soul says good afternoon to Altia, where you joining us from? I wonder where Altia joining us from. What part of do you live close up Frederick Street, close by the Savannah?
Hmm.
Have a place up there.
Hmm.
Nobody fender welcome. Hey,
Good evening.
bless your evening.
Boy, sit down and come.
Yeah, how you
Good
going?
evening. Good afternoon, rather.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
With all due respect, I think we're supposed to be talking about this kind of situation right now, you know. Because I don't know if you see the videos where he been shooting at the police on Friday night. And the police running. The point I'm trying to make here, right? 4 murders in Tobago, the Prime Minister of Tobago. Because THE election is just now. 13 plus murders. No one triple murder in Kinopia, like, or 10 minutes ago.
Mova, defender, not THA, general election.
Sit over the mayor.
Not THA election, general election.
No, THA election is also this year too.
Okay.
This year or next?
Not the same.
Over defender, this year or next year?
I think the THA election is this year.
I ain't sure about that.
Could be wrong, but
Yeah, I ain't sure about that. Go ahead.
Next year?
Yeah, I think it's this year. Go ahead.
I think THA is 26.
Anyway, anyway, where's the press? Where's the meeting with the opposition in Trinidad? 13 plus murders. An innocent boy going to buy a burger, right? A woman going to the C3 to do some transaction. Where's the press conference? Where's the urgency? Where's Mr. Hines? Dr. All these shooting of Trump, you know.
Nice me.
Yes, the murders in Trinidad too.
Yeah.
Come out and talk about the murders in Trinidad. Because like it's watching, like we in Trinidad, like we literally sitting today, you know, and waiting, you know. Because it's no more in the gang areas, no more, you know. It's anywhere now, you know. Watch it if the man shoot up his car in Kunupia last Monday, and his 3 men died in Pizza Boy car park. So I just asked for an excuse this weekend. I want to talk about the crime situation because we are sitting ducks.
But
because if the police running, who is we? Enjoy the evening.
Thank you. Yeah, man.
Thank you.
But, Tommy, you know, it's sad. But Tommy, you remember when the guy walked out the police station and he lose his life right in front of the police station?
Yep.
Remember that incident? I mean, Tommy, are people in Trinidad and Tobago becoming immune to all these set of murders?
I don't know. Althea need to answer that first. This is Althea's name. The one who said that we
Oh, Althea? No. Maybe she might go to Coco and ask him that information rather than go. She might ask Coco for that information and he might get the wrong information. She or he, whichever one it is. Althea, are you a he or a she? You understand? But you know, Tommy, Althea didn't come in and make some sort of significant contribution. She didn't come in and say, he or she didn't come in and say, well, you know, boy, Wall Street and Tommy, I will like that situation that happened Friday in the New York Stock Exchange for 30 kids from the urban community of Newark, New Jersey. I would like to see some kids from the urban communities of Trinidad and Tobago get to go on the floor of the exchange so they can experience what it's like to know how they could trade our stock and they could sit at home and when they're sleeping, they could make money. You understand? Or maybe Althea could have said, you know, Wall Street, what about that program? How could we get that program in Trinidad and Tobago where the kids learn how to trade? You understand? Yeah? But he or she didn't come with that. Right? They come with the same type of, maybe impeccable in my words, the same type of foolishology. You know, but anyway, you know, they're easy, man. They're easy to deal with.
Yeah.
Yeah, but folks, coming up at the top of the hour, we have the chairman of Tobago's People Party and second joining us. So here is what happened on Friday at the New York Stock Exchange. This is just a quick video.
Oh, it's a beautiful day. Oh, don't let it slip away. Time as you walked out that door, tell me what you're waiting for. Oh, it's a beautiful day. it's gonna be hard for you. Let's go, cause I know a place that I really wanna show you. You say you just won't work, and I'm wasting my time. But
COP, welcome.
Good afternoon to you, Wall Street.
Good
Good
afternoon.
afternoon to you, Uncle Tony.
Good afternoon, sir.
And to the listeners and them. Over Defender, good afternoon to you and KFC and Kingsley and all the listeners and them. All the foreign-based listeners and them too. Good afternoon. Wall Street. We papa Trinidadians. Let's sit down and see so much of people dying. Innocent people, blood on the roadside. Innocent people, blood on the roadside. But I want to say something, and this is something I don't really like to talk about. You see the gangs and them we have in this country? Remember Faris Alwari said how he know them by name, by address, by location, by affiliation, communities. You know everything about them. And they wanted to pass laws, and they said those laws would have helped those gangs to break up them gang and mash up them gang. Those laws and them create bigger gangs in this country. And it's sad to say, not even the government, not even National Security Ministry, and not even the police service can interfere with those guys and them. Them is the PNM guys and them to ensure those constituency and them remain PNM. Yes, and that is what is be taking place in the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. If the state and national security, the gang they in Fitzgerald Hines constituency, it they in Stuart Young constituency, it they in Camille Robinson Regis constituency, it in Keith Rowley's constituency, and many more others I could call. Them know them. They give them contracts in this country. Why you feel none of them quiet? See, many of citizens dying in the country. You ever hear Fitzgerald Hines come out and say, all right, we send them a crew and ensure that all that stop? The gang they call resistance. Them speak about they say there's not no gang. Say we ain't no gang thing over here. We defending ourselves from the government. Them is the people and them get locked up. You say we defending ourselves from the government. They're not giving we no opportunity in the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. How much cost press conference you see in Trinidad and Tobago? About 13 of them lost their life this weekend alone. In 24 hours, Wall Street, and listeners all over the world. It happening even inside by me. Innocent person could lose their life. When they come for the person who they come, well, they take the uncle, they take the auntie, and that is how it's going in the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. Why is Keith Rowley living a comfortable life? Living a fancy life? He and his whole family. We pay for Keith Rowley, National Security Team, over $20,000 a month. Over $20,000 a month for his National Security Team alone. And that is the least I speak about Wall Street. For Fitzgerald Hines Security Team, we pay over $20,000 a month. And that is the least I speak about. That probably just for one of them. And they have a detail at 8 and 10 in the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. Taxpayers pay for that. And what we get in return, they tell we if we see something, say something. But they're not doing the work. And that's what black people in Trinidad and Tobago support that. And they're contented with that. But it's 98%. and the youths were dying innocently and with crime. 98% is African youths. And that is what we accept. The black community accept that. Mostly because they want to be PNM until they're dead. How could you accept something like that? Citizens from all over the world that paying attention and listening. How could we accept that? In a country that is supposed to be so wealthy, in a country that is supposed to have opportunity for every citizen of this country. Look how Jamaica eradicating the crime. Look how Guyana mashing up the crime and ensuring that behavior not taking place. Why it is a government must know that taking place and be contented and do nothing about it. Whilst their children have security and whole family have security. You ever hear Dr. Rowley lost one goat or sheep in the pen? Why is all the it has so much a home invasion, robbery, thief, grocery thief, all kind of thing? You know why Dr. Rowley never lose one sheep? Because his security detail to watchman those sheep and them paid well. He hired a good security detail to ensure nobody interfere with the animals. Hire that for us now. Hire that for us. We pay you for that. But we accept them things as human being. What type of human being does accept those things? Throughout the Western Hemisphere, only if you're a PNM until you're dead, you will accept that. In a country that is so wealthy.
Yeah, wrap it up because we top of the hours coming.
Today we watching the news and we seeing sufferation. We seeing people crying out for help. Whilst we have a social development ministry, give them billions of dollars every year and not even paying attention to the people that in need of this country. And Dr. Rowley and Imbert with Stuart Young and Faris Alwari, they contented with that. Why is them build empires? Why is them build empires for a whole generation? Citizens of this country, survival instinct had a kick in, and they're surviving right now. Survival instinct kicking in. I have to survive. That fear, Uncle Tony?
Nope.
You gotta go for the break, COP.
Yeah.
COP, we gotta go for the break.
Thank you.
Yeah, man. Bless.
Thank you, Kunji.
Yeah, folks, it's Sunday Talk. Let's talk politics with Uncle Tommy, Professor Walsheet, and you on WZYE 95.9 FM. We come to you every Sunday from 1 to 4 p.m. That's every Sunday from 1 to 4 p.m. I don't know. I don't think this government that we have here in Trinidad and Tobago have the capacity to deal with the crime problem in Trinidad and Tobago. We'll be right back.
You're listening to WZYE 95.9 FM. You are listening to WZYE 95.9 FM, the most influential name in Caribbean radio in the tri-state area. Broadcasting from East Orange, New Jersey, the most influential name in Caribbean radio. WZYE 95.9 FM.
It raises a question, ladies and gentlemen. If they cannot speak the truth in small things, imagine what they will do in big things.
I want to send a message to Black Stalin.
Yeah, Bisram.
Hear this.
Yeah.
The government already make it clear who did, right? One man say he is in charge of the safety of the people, right? That's not his job. So who did? And they can't tackle the crime problem, you know. The government say, Rowley say, if you cannot handle the crime, you is part of the problem. If you get a video, you will see, right? You will hear it. So who dead right now? Right? Nobody cares nothing. Who dead? You understand me?
Okay, yeah.
What you
Fully
have to
understand.
say about that?
Well, I mean, he said it. That's his statement was
Yeah.
made, right? So
Yep.
yeah,
Once the toothpaste leave the tube, it can't put it back in.
correct. All right. So let me try to get. Hold on. Let me try something. Let me see if I could try to get. She's having internal problems. You want to do it via telephone. So a telephone, I can call you. I can call you. Okay, so I see if it gets. The person is having problem. Uh, hold on. Hold on. Okay, so hold on. Okay. Oh boy. Folks, I'm just reading something here. Hold on. Um. Oh God, boy. Oh boy.
What's challenges?
Tommy, boy. All right. Here she is. Let me see if I could bring her in here. Hold on. Tommy, boy. I'm gonna stop this.
Remove Roger from the screen, right?
Yeah, I'm moving from the screen. Let me see if I could get. Hello, can you hear me? Yes. Are you hearing me? Unmute
Hearing you
your
in a
mic.
second.
Unmute your mic. Your mic.
Unmute your
Hi,
mic.
how are you? Hi.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Hi.
Good
How are you?
afternoon, Miss Second.
Hi, I'm quite good. How are you?
Quite good, thank you.
Miss
Mm-hmm.
Second, challenges.
Yeah,
So,
that's a.
let- so you know, we thank you for taking the time here to come join us here on
Mhm.
WZYE 95.9 FM. You know, we have had several other people here from
The TPP.
PHA and the TPP as well. But, you know, the quick thing is this, right, Anne? Many people, it's Anne, Natasha second, right? That's what it is, right? Okay. Could we, do you want us to call you Mrs. Second?
No,
Anne,
you can call me Ann Second, and I'm here as an individual today, right? We haven't done the necessary installations as yet for the party, even though I'm the elected chairman. So we'll speak as Ann, Ann
okay.
Second. Mhm.
Okay. No problem. No problem. Um, so Anne,
Yeah.
just I mean, I have been following the politics in Tobago because my father is from Tobago. My father is from Roxburgh, Tobago. I have family living in Tobago. I've visited Tobago many times. I've spent many summers in Tobago, right? I've spent
Yes.
many summers in Tobago. Who is really Anne Natasha second? Tell us who's Anne because many people didn't know of you. Well, I didn't. I never heard of Anne before in the politics now. So kind of tell us who is Anne Natasha second.
Thank you. Well, good afternoon to everybody, all of the viewers, all of the listening public. I am a person born in Tobago, born and raised in Prince Street, Roxborough, Tobago. I would have attended Bishop's High School and thereafter been educated at UWI Mona and UWI St. Augustine and so on. I have two master's degrees. One is a master's in fine arts. The other is a master's in marketing management. And I'm completing my PhD in educational leadership. I have always loved politics, been involved in it and around it since I was about 7 years old. Funny story, when I was around that age, my mother would have taken me out to listen to one of those political meetings, and I was so in love with the passion of the politicians and so on. I told her I want to be a politician, but she said that those people have to talk too much for their money, so I shouldn't do that. But I've been in the background behind a lot of the political activism in Tobago and social activism as well. I'm a ranger guider. In terms of my contributions, I have my own NGO, International Advocacy Against Child Abuse, and I played an active part in rebuilding the TPP after there was the falling out when we won the election as PDP on the 6th of December in 2021. So I've been in and around the politics for a long time. Under the PDP, I would have been the chairman of the action group that would have supported Trevor James, who is now Assemblyman Trevor James, in the January election. And for the December election, I was the campaign manager attached to the Bukumong Pleasant area. So I would have been strategic in bringing home that seat from the PNM, the Bukumong Pleasant seat. We now have Assemblyman, sitting Assemblyman Sonny Craig. So I was always there in the background, doing the strategic work from behind the scenes and helping with the education, the election day machinery, and so on. So I've been there. My activism, like I said, includes social activism. So I built a lot of relationships along the way. I was an activist in Tutor, the Teachers Union, and so on. So I made a lot of relationships and friends along the way. So even though in the internal election of the TPP, you would have seen an assemblyman, a sitting assemblyman, and you would have seen the former political leader of an organization. I would have been somebody who made relationships along the way that helped me to capture a significant number of the votes and to win the chairmanship of the party.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
I'm coming first, Miss Second.
Thank you.
Do you consider your win as chairman a surprise in the TPP?
Not at all. Not for anybody who was on the ground or anybody who worked in the background or who had commitments and convictions as to the type of hard work that the grassroots and those who build up the kings in political parties are concerned. We all knew that elections are won on election day, and you have to simply bring more valid votes to the polls than your opponents. So the grassroots was quite aware. If it was a shock to anybody, then they're not connected to the grassroots and to the ground.
So,
or the external, like you guys who don't know the internal politics and how we vote in Tobago.
Okay. So this was the first time that the TPP, which is a new party, had an internal elections in order to select, their management, so to speak, including the political leader. Now, how long is the term? How long is the different people? How long the term for those different individuals, like for the political leader, the chairman, and so on? How long is each those terms?
Right. So we have a constitution, even though it is complete in terms of getting us to the point of internal elections, it will be a work in progress. So you have some office holders who will be engaged for 2 years, and you have some who would be engaged for 1 year. So the constitution is available online, and it can be accessed by any member or anybody in the general public. It was available long before elections, so that people can go through and understand the terms and conditions of office and how long persons can serve and so on. So 2 years would be the primary duration for most of the offices, but you also have a 1 year period. But that constitution is up for public scrutiny and has been up for public comment and was ratified. So the information is available.
Now,
Mrs.
when everything is completed and everything, what exactly will be the chairman's role in the TPP?
The chairman has to work very closely with the political leader and the deputy political leaders and other arms of the organization to ensure that the strategic direction of the party is executed and it aligns well with the developmental plan, the strategic development plan for the Tobago House of Assembly. The overall mission for the THA under this current administration that exists and sits in the Executive Council is to create an avenue to make Tobago the greatest little island on the planet. So that would involve or socioeconomic development or political development, education, health, agriculture, etc. It will involve all of the mechanisms to improve the island so we can truly prosecute autonomy. So the chairman has to liaise with those officials and ensure that we manage the processes of the party and we administrate. So we help to build out all arms of the party. We help to bring to fruition all of the goals and all of the visions, etc., of the party. And we ensure that people are motivated, they are recruited, they come on board and they serve. Everybody must be comfortable participating in the politics of the day, and we want to have our arms wide open to welcome everybody and to help to ensure that we educate people so that they are comfortable engaging in the democratic process.
Miss Second.
Yes.
Now, the first question I want to ask you is, when is the next THA election due?
Well, it's due end of 2025 into 2026. Before that, we expect to have the general election. So all of Tobago and Trinidad right now are sort of in election mode, in a mentality of thinking through the process of who are we going to elect for the general elections. We know that 41 seats would be up for grabs nationally, and everybody would have to consider the purpose of their seats. For Tobago, we have 2 seats, Tobago East and Tobago West. And traditionally, we have sort of lent those seats, we've given those seats over to help to form the government that exists in Trinidad. The national government is a PNM government. And we now have to, as a people, sort of review that commitment that we have been given and assess whether or not Tobago has benefited fully and properly from us having those 2 voices in Parliament. We have to think it through, we have to educate our people, and as we look at all of the things that we can get from greater autonomy, it is clear that we do not have enough of the services, enough of access to various forms of power. Certainly not enough funding to develop our different programs and so on. And so Tobago in particular will have to scrutinize the function, the purpose of those 2 members of Parliament as we go to the polls. So we have to massage it, we have to educate each other and review it and have a consensus as to how we are going to vote. And I'm sure it's the same way with every part of Trinidad. In Trinidad, they're looking right now at whether or not the form of government that exists actually benefits people, if people have a sense of democracy, if people feel close to the goods and services that the government provides, if there's too much bureaucracy. We recently did a review of the Constitution, and one of the complaints that people had was that the system of government isn't working in terms of being connected to people. So the people now, as we approach that period of elections, have to think and have to try to make a collective and an organized series of thought processes and a decision to help them to best attain a good government, a good governing structure for Trinidad and Tobago.
Now, autonomy has been one of the foremost and probably one of the most important goals for the TPP, or should I say for the people of Tobago as a whole. That hasn't been attained thus far, and we're coming close to the general election and, like you said, the TPP election. Do you believe that it would be prudent or wise to push that as one of the goals to be accomplished before the election, the general election is called?
I think it would be prudent. It has been a topic that has been raised for every election. It's a topic that, it has a lot of confusion in it in terms of people understanding it at the ground level completely. We have had a number of stalwarts recently pass on, like Coach Charles, Reginald Dumas, and so on, who longed to see autonomy and all of the responsibilities and all of the benefits that would afford us as a people, and they did not get to see it. Even at his funeral, the Prime Minister was there at Coach Charles' funeral, and he did say that he's going to resurface the bill, he's going to examine the bill again, but he was alluding to the bill that would have been developed and designed and ratified and so on by the Orville London-led PNM administration in Tobago, not the most recent adjustments to those bills. He does not suggest that we are going to see the bill, the final bill, with all of the consensus from persons of the opposition, etc. He does not suggest that. And we as a people have to understand that in order for us to access greater services and to be able to attain the things that we need, land titles, better systems to afford our education or Tobago-centric curriculum to educate our people, higher socioeconomic development for the East Coast and for the North Side in Tobago, we have to have greater autonomy. And to have that greater autonomy, our voices in Parliament and other forms of the government have to be activated. We have to have more voices at the table, and those voices have to have the positioning of Tobago's development, the positioning of improvement. Therefore, autonomy must be a part of the discussion. It is also a season, it is also a period in time when we should realize that dream of autonomy. And therefore, everybody should be encouraged, whatever side you're on, to have that discussion of autonomy and helping everybody to understand it. I think it is the right discussion to have at this time, yes.
Thank you.
Ms. Second, we know that the TPP internal election was something that just happened recently, right? And you ran for the position of chairman against Chrislyn Moore, who was the former leader of Tobago Forwards, I think.
Yes.
And Trevor James, who is the current secretary for infrastructure in Tobago.
Yes.
Right? And you came out victorious, and many people were kind of, well, the people who you know were not the people who you know were not surprised. But people outside of Tobago, like myself, I have to be honest with you, I was surprised.
Right.
To say, I was acting like Aunt Second, who is, Aunt Second, we never really hear about Aunt Second, in the political sphere, so to speak, out front. So there's a great possibility that you have to be doing things, inside, grassroots, so to speak. So talk a little bit about that, because there has to be something why you defeated these two very significantly important individuals. There has to be something that you were doing that people didn't know that you were doing.
Right. I want to say first how proud I am of how the people themselves organized their response to our internal election. It meant exactly that. They thought it through, they strategized, and they organized to ensure that their votes would count for something. They wanted someone seated in the chair who would be a sort of gatekeeper, somebody who would ensure that there's an accountability in the party and that they could reach somebody they could always approach and that they could communicate with. They wanted somebody they could trust completely. Now, I represent that because to them I am Miss Second. Like I said, I have been involved with building relationships. I was a teacher for over 20 years. I served in tutor. I was a girl guide, ranger guide. I work as a technical advisor now at a division. And the thing that I would say epitomizes me is love for people and love for the growth and development of people. So I always try whatever capacity I function in to stretch out my hand and help others to move up. That is the thing that connected me to the people. We would have all been together on the ground, helping to reorganize and to push this party forward to the point where we arrived at internal elections. It began with the overall chairmanship of Mrs. Natasha Charles Pantin. She was the assemblyman for Bacalet and Bagatelle. And she would have been tasked with creating this group, formulating this group of volunteers to help us to get to the place where we could have a party. And I would have taken on the chairmanship thereafter, and a number of volunteers would have worked with me. So we worked for the better part of a year and a half. So I actually won this chairmanship, and if nobody hears anything else, they should hear this. I won this chairmanship 1 year, 6 months ago, because I never stopped working to put the things that were necessary, the mechanisms that were necessary in place so that we could have a party that would be able to contest elections. Remember, post our fallout at the PDP level, we would have been left with a number of independent personnel functioning as our executive council. In order to fight an election that could attract young, old, educated, partially educated, grassroots, everybody, we needed a Tobago-centric party. And I knew how to actually form a party, but volunteerism would have been key. I did what nobody else was ready to do at the time, and that is why I won chairmanship.
Well, it's interesting to hear that. But let me ask you this question. Do you think that you might get some pushback as the new chairman, being that people will think that you are somewhat of an outsider rather than an insider? What's
that is, yes, that is expected, and that is part of it. The scriptures say that, you expect tribulation every day. The one thing you're guaranteed is tribulation. But our education system, if we're lucky, or good parenting background, if we're lucky, gives us the kind of grit that we need to survive those kinds of attacks. You don't enter into politics. You can't play mass and Fred powder, so to speak. You don't enter into politics and political activism and strive to increase the power of the people and not be ready to take a few arrows. Arrows have to come. You just have to know how to surround yourselves with the kinds of persons who could push you forward, support you, and help you. So I expect pushback, and pushback is expected and accepted. If you can overcome pushback internally, then you can overcome pushback externally. We are a strong people, whether we are small in stature, whether we are small in number, we are a very resilient and a very, very committed people. We achieve things that are only imagined for our size. For instance, we would have toppled a 21-year-old dynasty in Tobago simply by coordinating our efforts. In January of 2021, when we had that 6-6 tie under the PDP, a number of mechanisms were used to try to control us, restrict us, and to force us to lose our election. Like, for instance, we moved from a boundary number of 12 to a boundary number of 15. So the boundaries, the electoral boundaries, were cut up in all kind of ways. You couldn't find your polling station if you weren't committed. But we as a people understood these hammers that would come against us. And so we did what we were supposed to do. We were diligent. We read upon our rules. We checked with our EBC, and we took a vast number of people to the polls, and we took that election. We flatlined the opposition. And that is the kind of background I come from. I come from a very strong set of people. In Prince Street, we are accustomed to taking some licks and getting up and keeping fighting. We don't have to fight every battle, but, we pick them and we keep going.
And how do you feel about the general election?
The general election, I think, is quite exciting. It is good stuff. We have the opportunity to walk from house to house, family to family, and educate the people about power, their own individual power, and how important it is to participate in this election process. We want the young people to understand what autonomy means for them. We want the women to understand, the men. We want people in Trinidad to understand why is it that we are struggling for autonomy. We want our brothers and sisters, we want you to understand why. What is it that we are missing? What is it that we are in need of that we can only agitate for politically? And so I'm very excited for the period that we are entering into. Right now, we have a serious strategy by the national government where not only are they withholding the developmental funds, they're ensuring that a number of services are coming to Tobago through the ministers. So you have them falling into the idea is for them to fall in love with the individual minister, receiving the little handouts, the little grants, and so on, and even infrastructural development. We now have to counteract that by closely examining through strategic financial planning the money that we do have and making sure that all of our people understand, accept all of the grants, accept the infrastructural development, etc., but think it through. What is the long-term benefit of having a Tobago East and a Tobago West MP that is positioned, somebody that is positioned mentally to look after the best interests of Tobago? And that is what we want to, at the end of the day, that is what anybody who has any kind of understanding about politics and power would want. We want everybody to understand we need these two voices as voices of power to be able to access greater services, and those voices should be positioned in a way to look for the better good of Tobago. So I'm excited about the general elections. Happy.
Great, great. I'm encouraged by it, and I love your spirit.
Yeah,
Thank
yeah,
you.
yeah. I had to tell you, and your West Indies need to draft you. You only hit ones that are six, and it was only six. No singles at all, man.
Nothing to that over.
You ain't get,
Mhm.
yeah, yeah.
Very good.
You're not you're not on the defensive at all. You're on the offensive.
Mhm, mhm, mhm.
After hearing you today, I'm positive as to why you are now the chairperson.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
And I thank the people who voted for me.
Yes. So when once everything is official, right, with respect to you
Mhm.
being chairman of the TPP, what next you do you think, from your perspective, from your vantage point, what next do you think for the TPP?
Well, I've always said it throughout the elections and throughout the process of building the party with the other volunteers that we have to complete the structure of the party. So we have the women's council, the youth council, the men's council, other things like the legislative council, etc., to get up and running. We do have basic components like the strategic planning. I could speak generally of that strategic planning that we would have to have, because everybody must know the direction in which you're going in order to be able to know that you're going there or you're not going there. Education and training will be a major component for us. Education of the individuals who are in action groups, every single arm of the party, and people in every village, etc. So apart from doing the formal training into the members of the party, you're out in the streets, you're out in the road, you're talking to groups of people on the block, etc. We understand that crime has begun to take hold of different portions of our island, and we want to stamp that out. We want to stamp it out by engaging people, roping people in the discussion. So we're going to take the education to the people. I could say those things because those things must constitute, regardless of whatever discussions, they must constitute the general direction of any party, and it will therefore constitute the direction of our party.
You know, I have to say, um,
Mhm.
listening to you is very encouraging. Let me say that. Let me put it that way. Very encouraging for the things that the TPP can actually bring to the table in Tobago. And I am hoping that they don't push you to the background, and because sometimes when people are very how I could say it, boy, are trying to be very how you say it again, Tommy? I'm trying to be very impeccable with my words.
Or impeccable.
I'm trying to be yes. I'm trying to be impeccable with my words. In that, listening to you as the incoming chairman of the TPP is a breath of fresh air, and the
Thank you.
ideas that you're talking about, it is not like this kind of archaic Stone Age ideas. You want to bring
Thank you.
ideas to the people of, and I will hope that people will understand, and don't try to hold you back, so to speak, in order to move the TPP exactly where they need to go, especially with the upcoming election, a general election in 2025. What says you?
For me, season and purpose matter. My eyes tend to be on the source of my spiritual strength. I am respectful of everyone. I follow protocols and rules to the point where even when anybody tries to come after me, and that is a career thing, I save up what you call them receipts. I save up my receipts and I apply them according to due process and due law. So I have no fear at all. I believe that this is the season for Tobago to improve and to get what they have to get. And I am out there in front. I want to use an example from my career as technical advisor. Once I came into the Division of Education, I realized some of the systemic issues we had there, and I understood that one of the problems we had was our focus on our children. Instead of looking at all of the performance of all the children, we sort of looked at the top performances. And we got together with various analysts and we created this program for improvement. In 2 years, we've seen dramatic transformation in the performance of our students. But in the beginning, the first year, you have to tote that thing on your back and carry it up the hill. And you have to understand that that is your purpose. And nobody must derail you. Nobody must stop you. You must keep moving up that hill. So I'm not really somebody as small in stature, etc., as I am, who can be pushed to the sideline, whether I had chairman or not. My voice has always been heard on a table if I needed to be heard on a table. And that's how I raised my students. A number of the assemblymen and the persons in the opposition in Tobago, the councillors and so on, a number of them were my past students. I'm a teacher of social sciences and literatures of English. So our power doesn't come from position. Our power comes from within us. And we do not allow anybody to sideline us, to stop us, to influence us in a negative way, not if we believe what we believe. And that is why I believe that Tobago is going to realize autonomy this year. The death of Portrait Charles at the beginning of the year, Ashworth Jack would have said it in his funeral. This is a signal. It is a time for people. And you cannot stop what God has ordained. And if God has ordained me to do this, when nobody, if they saw the three names, if you did not know us, nobody thought that an Natasha second could be there. It is the people, it is the most raggedy of the people who have put me here. And because of them, I am strong. So nobody, no interruptions, no arrows, nothing, no primitive sources of discrimination will stop me. I will do what the people have put me here to do, and I will do it every single day. Every day, with the same amount of passion all of the time. And my eyes will constantly be on God. And I always want others to understand where we're going. So I want Trinidad to understand our argument. I do not want you left behind. I want you to understand.
You seem so youthful to be talking about. You seem so youthful to be talking about educating so many persons that are in power today.
Mm-hmm.
I would have been fooled because I thought you were much younger than you seem to be. But
yes.
Let me just go in this direction here. What about peace and unity with Mr. Duke?
You know, I have always, there was one interview I did when I was asked about what I saw the role of Duke has been. And I acknowledged he would have had that momentum to push us. And I think that was his season. Peace and unity has never been an issue in terms of him, the person. Him, the person, his passion, etc. Him, the person, we have no problem with. His intellectual direction, the decisions that he has taken with his party are his decisions. And so we have formed our own political movement, and we're looking to invite everybody in Tobago to become part of it. So it is not off the tables, it is not on the tables, and it would be a matter of discussions for the political leaders and so on. But at this point in time, we are the whole TPP, and we do not need to reform or rekindle with the PDP, because we are the whole TPP.
Okay.
You know,
A Tobago-centric organization that everybody can be part of.
Okay.
you know, I have to say, just listening to you and Miss Ann Natasha second. I'm calling your full name.
Full name.
Full respect. By the way, what part of Tobago you from again?
I'm from Roxborough. I was born. I had a midwife, Millicent Davidson. She was the sister of Jeff Davidson. He was our first chairman in our assembly. His sister was my midwife. She delivered me at home in Roxborough. So my neighbor Spring Berry in Roxborough. And I was raised in Prince Street, Roxborough, Tobago.
But you know,
but I live in town now. I live in Harmony Hall.
yeah, but you have to know my father then. You know my father?
I know your father.
Oh God, anybody who grow in Roxborough must know Shaki. Shaki's my father.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And you remember Karut?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I used
All
to
the
be at
Karuts.
Karut every
Karut.
year. I went to Karut, right next door to the nurses hostel.
Right.
Yeah, but Prince Street is not when you're coming from Tongue. You had to pass Marydong. Prince Street is when you're past Marydong when you're coming from Tongue, right? Prince Street or before.
Marydong is after. If you're coming from town, Marydong is after. Prince Street is like the heart of the place, and then you go up to Betsy's Hope and the.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I remember them thing and them so good, nah?
Yeah. So after Bell Garden and Argyle, you have Roxborough.
Yeah.
And you could shoot off and go through to Castara and, well, first land some me, Palatavere, Castara. Mm-hmm.
So let me say to all the Libons who listening in Tobago, all the Libons, because there are plenty of Libons in Tobago, eh? Right? My brother Sean, my stepmother Clarice, my father Samuel. People might know him as Samuel. Let me say, Tobago produced something here in Miss Ann Natasha second. Roxborough. Let me get Roxborough. Roxborough produced a splendiferous, tremendous, marvelous, splentastic, splentacular young lady to become chairman of the TPP.
Yes.
And I can see, and I can say without fear or favor, the TPP is in splendiferous hands with Anne Natasha second. And I'm very, 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 very impressed by the way how you are handling things. And people go throw shots at you.
Normal thing. Normal.
You have a great attitude, and that matters most.
Yeah. You got to keep that. You got to keep that attitude, and know that there are going to be days. And I just call it the 90-10% rule. 10% of the time they're gonna come at you and they're gonna do all kind of things. But think about it from the 90% perspective. Using 90%, not the 10%, because many people know that your enthusiasm and the way you feel about the party and doing the best for Tobago and by extension the people of Tobago, is very important. But let me ask you next question. What do you think is required for the development for Tobago as part of the Twin Island Republic? What's some of the ideas you think from your perspective?
Well, we have so many things because we have been underdeveloped in a number of areas. We have challenges with the education sector. We had an underdeveloped agriculture sector. Healthcare was ancient. We have a number of needs. And I think the key to, I described it as the hallmark of an autonomous people on the last interview that I had, is education. We have to educate our people to the point where we build their capacity so that we ourselves can realize all of those things that we need to improve. Because no matter how many roads you build, no matter how many buildings you build, and so on, if the people don't have the capacity to care for them, to make a profit out of them, to show up for work when they're supposed to show up for work, give the hours that they're supposed to give, to sacrifice and to build, if they don't have the ideology that this is their country and they must love their country and they must have a bigger picture perspective than just themselves, not that they will leave themselves out. We have to have a patriotic citizen come out of the education system. We must have families that understand that they could participate in the governance process. We must have churches and NGOs and communities understand that participation is what is going to overcome our ills. So for me, the key thing is every form of education, formal and informal. We must be prepared to uplift each other so that we can stem the tide of crime, improve our infrastructure, and maintain it. Do the right thing when we are hired to construct something. Be fair. Give an honest work for the money that we're going to be getting. Do the right thing. We need to be able to reset and to have a bigger picture perspective of our country. So for me, development of Tobago comes with formal and informal education. The party and every other organization should strive to achieve that goal of becoming the greatest little island on the planet. And what we should all be thinking about right now is how can I contribute to making this island the greatest little island on the planet? How can my behavior, my thinking, my attitude, my work ethic, how can that contribute to making this little island the greatest little island on the planet? And what stops it from being that now? Is there discrimination? Is there what? What stops it from being that now? But to answer your question, all forms of education to all forms of people, the disabled, the different ethnic groups, every church, everybody, recognizing that we need to build the capacity of our people to be able to truly be autonomous.
And Natasha second.
Yes.
You continue to you hit six, you hitting six. You know. That was like a no ball, and you get a no ball and a six, 7 runs. You know.
Yep.
But you know what? I want to read something in the chat here, and I think this is important, and this is from JB Harper. JB Harper, thank you for putting me on to and Natasha second. You know, I mean, JB like good people, boy. I know, no. This is what he says. Wall Street need to go to Tobago and help the TPP teach the people of Tobago to trade so Tobago can be the greatest little island on the planet. And here why he says that, right, Anne?
Mm-hmm.
So I worked 23 years at the New York Stock Exchange,
Mm-hmm.
right, in the highest departments at the New York Stock Exchange. And last Friday, I took 30 kids from the urban areas here in New Jersey, Newark, the Newark Board of Education, to the exchange for them to understand what it is like to trade stocks. And it is something that the kids it was unbelievable. But I think what the suggestion that JB Harper is saying is a really excellent suggestion, because we can make entrepreneurs out of young, and I'm going to say it, young minority kids, to teach them, because they don't really teach us how to trade in them. Because what do they tell us about? Boy, that too risky, boy, you're going to lose all your money and all kind of thing like that. But I think that is something, we can discuss off air, but I think it will be a great thing. Because let me be honest with you. Should I get involved in politics, boy?
Get involved in the politics. This is the time.
Tommy, no. Tommy, you're not easy. I'm trying to tread carefully, Tommy. But anyway, let me say
No, don't tread carefully. Jump in foot first.
Jump in.
So let me say this. So I'm from Chumaka, Claventel.
Mm-hmm.
Building on apartment 2-1.
Right.
And, my experience at the New York Stock Exchange, I tried to see how I could impart that sort of wisdom on the people of the kids of Laventil and environs. So yes. I started the Laventil to Wall Street Scholarship Foundation, and I also wanted to do the Laventil to Wall Street Empowerment Center. But let me get involved in politics now. This is not you, this is me.
You.
But the PNM, this current PNM wanted no part of the Laventel to Wall Street Empowerment Center.
Okay.
No part of it, right? And it hurt my heart to know that this would have helped many black youths in Laventel and environs. But somehow the PNM didn't see the importance of this. But here we have in Newark, New Jersey, the Newark Board of Education see the importance of trying to teach these kids about training, and yours truly could take them to the New York Stock Exchange exactly where it happens and show them. And they were more than welcome in order to do that. But somehow the People's National Movement didn't see the importance of it. I can see why, and Natasha second, why they were trounced in Tobago. So that was just something, and I think we can talk about that too as far as Tobago is concerned, because I think it's kind of important. You can make entrepreneurs. An important thing is that as an entrepreneur trading on the New York Stock Exchange, you can make money while you are sleeping. And it's important for us to try to educate our kids, with regards to, trading and just trading stocks in general. So so I got the politics out of the way.
Right,
So
good.
now he's gonna rebrand to Tobago to Wall Street.
You see, the thing is, if I could chuck in, one of the UN Sustainable Development Goals is to partner and to collaborate. You see, in order to be able to attain all these great things that they have in mind, all of these 17 goals, the quality education, the no poverty, no hunger, etc., we have to partner with each other. We cannot be operating in isolation and on our own. So your reaching out to that organization was demonstrated your understanding that it's important to partner. And we understand in Tobago the importance of partnering. Partnerships and collaborations and alliances help you to win elections when nobody else thinks that you can. Partnering is an important commodity. And I'm sure that everybody is excited within the sound of our voices this afternoon to know that they could get up, put aside the apathy and find something to partner, find some way to share the knowledge and to contribute. Find a different way to contribute is what I would have said for the Laventel group. So, and Tobago is very open and welcoming of support and assistance, and we have a lot to give as well. So it's not a handout kind of thing. It's a two-way street. We give, you give, and we all go up together.
And one thing I want to say this publicly. I would like, once you guys get up and running and everything is official and everything, for the TPP to make sure they have something in their constitution regarding the diaspora.
Okay.
Because I think the diaspora is significantly important for political parties in Trinidad and Tobago. Forget about the PNM. PNM does only talk about the diaspora when an election coming, right? And I talk about them because they're in power, right?
Okay.
And so forget about them. But you guys are up and coming, and you guys are trying to shift, a seismic shift with, let me say this. I have coined Farley Chavez Augustine a transformational leader.
Yes.
Right? Boy, the people cuss me, all MPNM people cuss me.
They would.
They cuss me.
They would.
All kind of cuss I get from them.
Yes.
Because I coined their leader a transactional leader. Right? He's yes. Prime Minister Rowley, a transactional leader, I coined him. Because most of the time, when he's making decisions, it's based on a transaction.
Right.
Everything is a transaction. There we go, an arrangement. So that's factual. But the PNM people don't like to hear that. When I say that. Because some of the changes that was put in place by Farley Chavez Augustine in Tobago, and let me give you one of them. So I like to give facts. For example, the wear, when you have to wear in Trinidad, when you're going into a government office, you have to make sure your skirt below your knee, and you have to make sure you have on shoes, and you have to make sure this, that, and the other. And Paddy Chavez Augustine says, when you come as you are. When
Yes,
I
he
go
did.
into a bank here in United States of America, if I go into Wells Fargo Bank, I could just come from running, and I could go with my slippers, my sapat, I could go with my vest, I could go wet, I could go dry. They come because these are your customers coming to do transactions. So this is my words now, not yours. In respect to what Paddy Chavez Augustine do, is to take people, my words, off the plantation. And in Trinidad, Prime Minister Rowley want to keep people on the plantation. My words, not yours. Okay? So we gonna move
Yes.
from there. Right? So last for me, talk about the call to be part of the movement, which is to the Tobago's People's Party. Talk about that. The call, to the movement with respect for people to be part of the Tobago's People Party.
Right. So recruitment has been on the agenda for some time, so it is very comfortable and safe to discuss that. We have in our constitution, which is up for public scrutiny, an invitation for anyone from age 15 up to enroll as an ordinary member of the party. So we can go and we can find out about our action groups, we can find out about our district councils, and we can become part of the movement. It is a Tobago-centric organization. It is built from the ground up in Tobago. It is a place that is welcoming. Every voice matters. We all will find consensus before we speak out, but every voice is welcome in this party. We come from a number of different organizations. We come from the PNM, the PDP, the TOP, the Forward, and from nowhere, from home, we come from all walks of life. And it is a welcoming situation to be in. We have a strong and effective, charismatic, and transformative leader in our political leader, Paddy Chavez Augustine. We have a number of really cutting-edge assemblymen. Nobody is perfect, and they have contributed significantly to transforming their different divisions. And we have a whole lot of respect for people. So we want people to come. During the election, a number of people tried to get registered, but it was too late to register to vote. But you could continue to register forever. So I want you to register to the party. Come and join the party. Meet any one of us, have a conversation. Tell us what you want your party to do, what you want your party to look like. During the strategic planning process, all of us will have that say. And we want to create a sustainable organization that all of Tobago can be proud of, and that can realize win after win at elections, but also that can realize real development, real socioeconomic development to every district in Tobago. We have pockets of underdevelopment in the west we want to target, and we have the whole east and the whole north side. They're in need of infrastructural development, they're in need of educational advancement, they're in need of service development. And so we want you to be part of that. We want you to get up and feel excited again. We had a number of persons were calling me from the older generation during the internal election. They felt inspired. They felt a resurgence of the thrust and the desire to have autonomy. Come, somebody will visit you if you're at home in your wheelchair. Come, be part of our process. Come and join our party.
I feel the TPP find the next candidate for Tobago, East of Tobago, West. I know. But somebody asked a question. Do you know the Patricks in Pembroke? Is a fellow who does call himself a Tobagonian, but I really don't know if he's from Tobago. Yeah, he said,
some
do you know the
Patricks and some Rajman, some Patricks, yes. But I wouldn't know every single one, but yes.
Yeah.
You're related.
No, the person who asked that question.
Right, the Julian probably related. Yes, all
Yeah,
of us.
yeah. Oh, you see the Julian fella. That is a Julian fella. He say from Tobago. That's what you say.
Yes. And you see, that's the thing. Tobago is everywhere. A little bit of Tobago is everywhere. So don't be bad talking Tobago and not trust for autonomy because you don't know who you're talking to.
Yeah. I don't know. This question, listener, you don't have to answer this question, but the person put their questions in the chat, right? It says, question, Miss Anne, it's due to a blasting license since 2021. The PNM government been starving the THA with their license to export. I mean, I don't know.
It's plenty starving. It's plenty starving. Starving of license to export. You mean through the spell at study park and so on, the quarry material. Plenty problems we have in terms of licensing and the right of passage, like for instance, our land titles. We are starved of things. And I'm saying, for people who have loaned 2 seats, Tobago East and Tobago West, for so many years, that helped to form the government, you didn't look after the interests of Tobago well enough. So we want back our seat in Tobago East, we want back our seat in Tobago West. It will give us a more powerful position to negotiate for things and to attain things. It will shrink the kennel, because I believe Dr. Rowley would have said that the size of his kennel is what dictates what happens in Tobago or not. The size of the kennel. So we need to shrink that kennel in the favor of Tobago. We need to take back our Tobago East and West seats. It's not personal, it's business.
Very good.
I want to say to you and Natasha, second,
Yes.
we want to thank you so much for taking the time to join us. We really appreciate it. And, I mean, just from listening to your passion, the TPP is in good hands. Once everything is finalized and formalized with you as the chairman, I can see 2025 you becoming more prominent. and somehow
you can see that
might end up. So you never know, right? You never know. You never know. So what any closing words before you go?
I want to thank you for allowing me the opportunity to speak to you as Anne Second, share a little bit about me and about how Tobago has developed me. And I want to encourage everybody to think deeply as we go into those elections. We need more power as people after we install persons in all kinds of political positions and have them have all of our power. We need more power as people. So think it through, negotiate now, and get what you need to get for your country now. Join the TPP as well.
Before you go, somebody wanted to know what is the total population of Tobago East and Tobago West?
I don't have the actual data. We have about 65,000 people in total.
That's good enough.
Yeah,
that's good enough. That's good enough. That's good enough.
Yeah.
That's good enough. All right. So, Anne, we want to thank you so very kindly. Pleasant, and you continue to be the best and second that you can be.
You're first, not second.
And first. And first before you come on second. All right. Take care now.
Take good care. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. There you have it, Tommy.
She's quite good.
Quite good, man. Quite very impressive. Very impressive. Very impressive. Very impressive. Very, very impressive. Yeah. I mean, you need vibrant young ladies like that in your party. And she have all the accolades next to her name.
The qualifications, the experience.
Yeah, Bisram.
The spirit.
I put a question for you to ask here, man.
Well, I didn't see it. I didn't see it. Wait, it must be played early, man. What was the question?
You didn't see it?
No, it was early. I'm going through it now. Let me see. Hold on,
I put right. You hear me?
Yeah, I know.
If they have a draw in Canada with the election, right?
Yeah.
Who would she back up?
Oh.
Which party?
Oh, okay. But she's only the chairman.
You see it?
No, I didn't see it now. Oh, look at you. Yeah, that was that. I missed that one. What party will join if Trinidad have a joint election? Yeah, I missed it. I missed that one.
Yeah, man. You have to change the glasses. That grass is looking foggy.
I don't get.
Foggy.
But Bijam, I went to the eye doctor Thursday to tell me everything in order.
Nah, that doctor, like, he had all his seat well too. He maybe went by an old man.
No, a young fella. The man said, boy, your eyesight impeccable. Your eyesight impeccable. Everything good. Everything in order, boy. Bijam.
Top of the hour.
Yeah.
Went by. Carbon glasses.
Nah, he didn't have on no glasses. All right, Bishop, we gotta go for the break. We gotta go for the break.
All right.
Yeah, man. Bless.
That doctor eyesight alone may be bad.
All right. Yeah, bless.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Yeah, folks, we're gonna go for the break. We'll be right back. When we come back, we have some breaking news for you. Stick and stay. We'll be right back. Don't go nowhere.
You're listening to WZYE 95.9 FM. You are listening to WZYE 95.9 FM, the most influential name in Caribbean radio in the tri-state area. Broadcasting from East Orange, New Jersey, the most influential name in Caribbean radio. WZYE 95.9 FM.
It raises a question, ladies and gentlemen. If they cannot speak the truth in small things, imagine what they will do in big things.
I want to send a message to Black Stalin. It have some people that need burning. With honest people, you know where you stand. But not so with deceitful ones. For them, black is white and last could be first. About the truth, they couldn't care less. What was wrong for them yesterday? Now 10 times worse, they have nothing to say. For everything they was complaining, now their silence is deafening. So Black Stalin, now to you I turn. Them deceitful people must burn. Rowdy shut down Petro train, they say not a word. Fire to burn them. No foreign exchange, they yet to be heard. Fire to burn them. It's 6 times he raised the gas price. When we was producing it, they had it nice. But his protest like rain, they go burn down flat. If UNC did do that, so Stalin, light your fire. We cannot wait any longer. Stalin, time to burn them deceitful men and women. What is right and wrong is wrong, whether it is spoken or put in song. Those who fear the truth, them hypocrite, will always hate the people who speak in it. There's 5 and 6 murders every day, with bullets and bloodshed everywhere. People are living in gripping fear, while the police tell you to pray. And the only reason you're still alive is nobody ready to take your life. For the right price, you could be history. That is where crime reaches sweet and now it's arm home invasion from them, not a word. Fire to burn them. The drive-by killings, they yet to be heard. Fire to burn them. People charged with murder could escape jail, cause under the PNM they will get bail. But it's protest like rain, they go burn down flat. If UNC did do that, so Stalin, light your fire. We cannot wait any longer. Stalin, time to burn them. It will set a deceitful BNM. People losing jobs every day, while there's more taxes we have to pay. But all them snake in the Balizé, not one word you would hear them say. And food prices going up daily, you can't buy food for your family, while government live in luxury. Inflation strangling everybody. And for the sick and the elderly, they can't buy drugs in the pharmacy. But there's none so blind, the Bible tell me, than those who have eyes and refuse to see. Now it's property tax, they're very quiet. Fire to burn them. Increase light bill, they're very silent. Fire to burn them. Them but boasting how they quiet. Because SP and them, they wouldn't riot, but it's protest like rain. They go burn down flat, flat, flat. If UNC they do that, so Stalin, light your fire. We cannot wait any longer. Stalin, time to run them, time to burn out the PLM. They did not listen to Patrick Manning. Now the country is suffering. It's arrogance and incompetence, corruption and nepotism. Ministers get millions for government rent, while workers only getting 4%. Contract for their friends to get richer, while poor people have to suffer. 100 million in fake oil scandal, while there's no beds in the hospital. Mr. Manning advice they did not take. Now we eat bread that the devil made. Now it's corporate manslaughter from them, not a word. Fire, fire to burn them. And those who are guilty still on the job. Fire, fire to burn them. Oil and gas production is at all-time low. The Minister of Energy don't have a clue, but this protest like rain. They go burn down flat, flat, flat. If UNC they do that,
Stalin, light your fire.
we cannot wait, brother.
Stalin, time to burn them.
Time to fire the PLM. Remember, people who can't face the truth will always hate the people who speak it. Them a hypocrite, that hypocrite.
So don't give up hope now.
Hey, I'm Ariana Grande. Hey, yo, this Cardi B. What's up? It's Megan Thee Stallion.
You're in the mix with Sunday Talk, Let's Talk Politics with Uncle Tommy and Professor Wall Street.
Check this out, it's DJ Khaled.
This is Post Malone. Yes, that little Chico Pitbull. You're in the mix with Sunday Talk, Let's Talk Politics with Uncle Tommy and Professor Wall Street.
Yo, what's up? This is Dr. Dre. What's up, y'all? This is Tupac, Machiavelli the Dawn.
Yo, what's crack flag? This is Big Snoop Deal Double G.
You're in the mix with the one and only Sunday Talk, Let's Talk Politics with Uncle Tommy and Professor Wall Street.
We are back with you. It's Sunday Talk, Let's Talk Politics with Uncle Tommy, Professor Wall Street, and you on WZYE 95.9 FM. Of course, we come to you every Sunday from 1 to 4 p.m. Every Sunday from 1 to 4 p.m. You can reach us here at 973-868-1444. That's 973-868-1444.
Also at 973-609-6509, 973-609-6509. Your text and voice notes are welcome. We don't discriminate.
And don't forget, folks, you can also subscribe to us on WZYE TV on YouTube. WZYE TV on YouTube. Just go to YouTube, click the subscribe button. It's free. You can also like our page on Facebook at WZYE 95.9 FM. That's WZYE 95.9 FM. So, folks, I want to go to the voice notes. And we can't start with anybody other than our favorite voice noter. You know who that is, Tommy?
Yes, Mr. Joseph.
Mr. Gordon Joseph. One thing I like about Gordon Joseph, he's very consistent. But I have one voice note to play from him, Tommy. He went outside of himself. Finally, Tommy, he went outside of his and himself. You know what I mean? He took off his red sunglasses, took his hair out of the proverbial red sun, took out his left red earplugs, and finally...
And put on the red, white, and black. And put on the red, white, and black.
Put on the red, white, and black. Yes. So
that's what
not
we
this
love.
first voice note, but the second voice note. Listen to Gordon Joseph. Listen to this. And this is from one of my editorials, which we're going to get. Listen to him.
listen to this whole thing because it's your voice. Had no AI or IA. As an editorial with so much perhaps appear. You can't be half pregnant, you know. Either you're pregnant or you're not pregnant. So if she come and she tell you she half pregnant, you can't just say okay and go your way. She have to elaborate. So all this perhaps and appear and maybe. All right. My editorial ain't gonna have no perhaps and maybe. It's absolute and definite. When someone don't like someone or the movement in, anything that somebody come up with that supports or appear to give support to that which the reader, the listener don't like, that will always get beat down. There'll always be the perhaps and the maybes why that person is doing what they are doing. Or but you supporting your party, coming out and making all kind of statements and claims to support your party, yellow. And you don't want nobody to support their party. You don't want nobody to support their party, but you could support yours with all your maybes and perhaps, all right? And when they do that, you dealing with them now. You ain't dealing with the party. You dealing with them now as to why they're doing it. Ah, boy. How long we had to put up with this, boy? On the next year, please God, when PNM win the election, if this will change. I just wondering for a friend.
Alice in Wonderland.
Let's get the one you just said now. This is Gordon Joseph today. Today. This is not Gordon Joseph. This is Gordon. Finally, Tommy, he put on his thinking cap.
Gordon Maloney.
This is Gordon Maloney. This is not Gordon Joseph. He put on his thinking cap and took out his red Balize hat. He took it off. But Tommy, you need to take it off for a short while.
All right.
Because as soon as he finished this one, he put it right back on. He put on his red sunglasses, put back on his left red earplugs. Listen to him. Listen to him. Listen.
Good after lunch to the panel in and out of studio. Guys, this lady sounding very positive. She's sounding very strong. And she's causing me to ask questions. Question like, are there any mute persons in any of the parties, major or minor parties we have in Trinidad and Tobago? Yes or no? If no, how come? Oh, I think the reason is, well, you have to be able to talk, boy. If you can't talk, forget that, So my hope is that she wouldn't be one who talking now. And then later on, we talking. We ain't seeing her. We're not hearing her, where she is. I'm hoping that this is not the case with this lady because so far, I tell you, she's sounding very strong. She's sounding positive. That is what we want to hear. That is what we want to see after the game. Yeah? So all the best. Well done.
Tommy, what says you?
Red sunglasses off, boy.
Tommy, we smoke him out, boy. We finally smoke him out.
Yeah.
And that wasn't smoke airing, eh? We smoke him out, but we smoke him out.
Well, at least we see the is it the yin or the yang? Which one?
Pick one.
All right. Pick one.
Pick one. Yeah. You know, you know how hard that was for him, Toy Tommy boy, to finally talk some sense. You
Some
understand?
positivity.
Yeah. But that was hard for him. Hard for him. Yeah. But Gordon, we hope that you will continue in that same vein. And because of course, and second, she ain't coming second to nobody, eh? And that is the time we need people like her, man. We need her voice. To me, she was splendiferous, man. She was real good.
Absolutely. On the button.
She on the ball, yeah. And she ain't tiptoe around TPP, you know. She ain't tiptoe, you know. I like that. Oh God, he sent our next one already. Look. Tommy, look at next one. Look at next one. Look at next one come already.
Smoke me out, you see. I am the same, you know. No change at all. The only thing changing is my age, you know.
Oh God, Tommy, I tell you, we spoke him out. Hey, Mr. Point 14.
No change.
Hey,
It was shit. Pleasant good day to you and Uncle Tommy.
Yeah, man.
Now I want to say, I
afternoon.
just want to find out something from you. The pants and them, what they be using in America, the average person, what they be using in America, what color it is?
The what pens? The what?
The pan, the normal pan, where they spray like in Trinidad.
Steel pan.
Have any states? What color the pan? What color the pan is?
Whatever. But mostly chrome.
Mostly chrome, yeah.
Because most of the videos that I saw were people using pans in the states and other country, the pan has be chrome.
Yeah. That's what does mostly
Right.
chrome. Yeah.
Right. But I noticed here in Point Forted, I can't even remember the name of the pan here there. I realized this blue paint that I use and paint, oil paint and paint them pan and them. Because I passed around and watching the pan, I said, but wait now, but why it is we pan in the land of pan in this condition? It's like all rusty drums where they take and they refurbish with a little bit of oil paint. But I say that to say this, the people in Point Forted, especially the PNM, they don't like it, they don't like improvement. Because I remember some years ago, I tell Kennedy in a meeting, the MP for Point, I said, Kennedy, here what's going on. 50 years ago, Point Fortin had 3 cinemas. I say, we in 2020. I say, I don't like the state of Point Fortin at all. Point Fortin looking like a place where people just walking in like their brain dead. No sense of forwardness, no sense of good. So I turn around and I tell him, I say, Kennedy, here what's going on. I say, I see the land what they're going to allocate for the fast station for Point Fortin. I say 5 years before that, I keep going to the corporation and telling them, I say, here what's going on. I say, I see that more would have been something called C3. I see if I could reach out to the same investors and them and have a little talk so that they could build a mini mall / cinema and call it C1. I say when they do that, now you're catering for people from the Carcass, Jos, Santa Flora, Pooch, and Point Fortin and environments. Kennedy to know and tell me, he said, boy, that's a real great idea. But if you're going to build something like that in Point Fortin, the people will leave and go. And I had to simply tell him, Kennedy, you all are the problem. Because all they're thinking, just like the dinosaurs and them way in the ground, I said a bone thinking, no kind of improvement, no flesh to anything, everything just dead. And these people and them who is members of the parliament, at PNM, all them doing is just lying in their pocket. Because if you watch where they're living, they just decide to fix up their area alone. 3 houses before, 3 houses after them, and that is it. But the rest of the community, it deteriorating real bad. So these people them have no intention of leading the people into the promised land. These people them have to die out in order for that to happen. Not on listening.
Yeah, man. Bless. Yeah.
Thanks for your contribution.
So let me finish with Gordon. I think I want to Tommy remind me. I want to get back to what Point 14 just said there. I want to finish this voice note here.
I am the same, you know. No change at all. The only thing changing is my age, you know. But I wonder what we could do to smoke all the go along, come along, talk show hosts and them. Those who belong to the Dotishism. Is there anything we could do to smoke them out based on your terms? Let me know now. Tell me what we could do. What we could do to smoke all you out. I don't smoke, eh?
Tommy, you see what I tell you? Tommy, I tell you, the man take off. I tell you, Tommy, he took off his red sunglasses. He took off his left red earplugs, and he raised his head from below the red sun, and he come up for air for like 90 seconds. And as soon as he finished with the contribution before this one, he went back in the kitchen and put on he red sunglasses. He left red earplugs and put his head below the red sun again. Yeah? I'm telling you. Yeah.
You'll see.
You see? But anyway, Tommy, we have some editorials we want to play. There was an editorial today in the Sundays Express regarding the OCM board, One Caribbean Media, which the PNM,
Yep, try to influence.
oh God, Tommy boy, they try, Tommy, you're being impeccable. Try to corrupt the board. Corrupt. Listen to the editorial. Even a senior counsel wrote to One Caribbean Media. She wants all the information. We're going to give all of that. Let me give all of the editorial first. Here's the editorial. And the junior minister, Brian Manning. Oh, God. Mr. Junior Minister. Oh, God. Let them stop giving you them thing and them to read now. Do a little homework before you just go on and read them thing now, Mr. Junior Minister. Eh? Please, Mr. Junior Minister, listen. Questioning the government's nomination to the OCM board. An editorial by Professor Wall Street. The recent explanation by Minister in the Ministry of Finance, Brian Manning, regarding the government's nomination of Dale McLeod and Shaka Subero to the One Caribbean Media, OCM board, has raised several eyebrows. Manning claimed that the nominations were driven by concerns over the precipitous decline in the value of OCM shares. However, here are 10 reasons why this explanation seems flawed. 1. Lack of financial expertise. Neither McLeod nor Subero have demonstrated the specific financial expertise required to address the complex issues leading to the decline in OCM share value. Their backgrounds do not suggest they possess the necessary skills to reverse such a trend. 2. Conflict of interest. Subero's position at Digicel, a competitor to OCM, presents a clear conflict of interest. This undermines the credibility of the nomination and raises questions about the true motives behind it. 3. Historical performance. The decline in OCM's share value has been ongoing for several years. It is unrealistic to believe that the appointment of 2 individuals could suddenly reverse this long-term trend. 4. Shareholder rejection. The overwhelming rejection of McLeod and Subero by OCM shareholders indicates a lack of confidence in their ability to contribute positively to the board. This rejection should be a significant indicator of their unsuitability. 5. Lack of transparency. The process of nominating McLeod and Subero lacked transparency. There was no clear explanation of how these individuals were selected or what specific qualifications they bring to the table. 6. Political motives. There is a suspicion that the nominations were politically motivated rather than based on merit. This undermines the integrity of the decision
and raises concerns about government interference in private sector operations. 7. No proven track record. Neither nominee has a proven track record of turning around declining companies. Their past experiences do not suggest they have the capability to address the financial challenges faced by OCM. 8. Impact on press freedom. The involvement of government-nominated directors in a media company raises concerns about press freedom. This move could be perceived as an attempt to influence the editorial direction of OCM, which is detrimental to democracy. 9. Lack of strategic vision. There has been no clear articulation of a strategic vision or plan from McLeod and Subiro on how they intend to address the decline in share value. Without a concrete plan, their nominations seem baseless. 10. Public trust. The government's explanation has done little to build public trust. The lack of a convincing rationale for the nominations only fuels skepticism and erodes confidence in the government's intentions. In conclusion, Minister Brian Manning's explanation for the nomination of Dale McLeod and Shaka Subiro to the OCM board does not hold up under scrutiny. The reasons provided are unconvincing and fail to address the core issues at hand. It is imperative that the government reconsiders its approach and prioritizes transparency, merit, and the best interests of all stakeholders.
Yeah, so Tommy, I just feel bad for Brian Manning.
Well, he has to go through the teething pains.
Because property tax. I was the fact check him on property tax too.
I remember.
He was outside of his lane, I mean, he just out. He went to the Olympics, Tommy, and the gun went off, and he run outside the lane. Whenever he run outside the lane, what has happened, right, Tommy?
Get disqualified.
Correct is right. Well done, Tommy. Well done, Tommy. Tommy, Olympics, boy. You run out the lane and get disqualified. But Tommy, here's the Sunday Express now in an editorial today. Today. Listen to this.
Obscene grab for power, a Sunday Express editorial. Having failed in its bid to appoint 2 directors to the board of One Caribbean Media, OCM, the government has now resorted to lawfare against the parent company of media entities such as Trinidad Express Newspapers, TV6, I-95 FM, the Barbados Nation newspaper, and Starcom Radio Network. At OCM's 56th annual meeting last Thursday, shareholders rejected the government's nomination of insurance executive Dale McLeod and head of government relations at Digicel Shaka Subiro. On Friday, the National Investment Fund, NIF, which holds a 23% ownership in OCM as part of the $30 billion CL financial bailout by the government, sent a legal letter to OCM demanding a list of the conglomerate's shareholders and who voted for and against the government's would-be appointees. Such a demand creates the perception, valid or not, that the government intends to pressure OCM shareholders who defied its wishes. The NIF's legal letter asserts, the above information and inspection will enable my client to satisfy itself that the meeting was conducted in accordance with the law, the articles, and bylaws of the company. However, the shareholders' vote was audited by Aegis, an independent firm. A responsible government would respect the shareholders' decision instead of attempting to impugn the integrity and professionalism of OCM's board. The argument offered by the government for wanting 2 directors is even more specious. On July 3, Minister in the Ministry of Finance Brian Manning told the Senate the nomination of McLeod and Subiro was done out of concern, as he put it, for the precipitous decline in the value of OCM shares since the government acquired ownership. If that were the government's real concern, however, the last thing it would do is try to insert directors on the board. After all, as with banks, media companies depend on public trust. Having government appointees would undermine that trust, making the board's job much more difficult. In a notice issued on June 17, the board noted Mr. Subiro is a senior employee with an organization that competes with OCM's companies and, since his duties include government relations, calls into question his independence. In this regard, it is worth noting that Section 99(1) of the Companies Act mandates every director to act honestly and in good faith with a view to the best interests of the company. For a media company, anyone affiliated to government might thus be perceived by members of the public to be unsuitable to be a director. Government spokespersons are arguing the NIF's shares entitle it to appoint party loyalists to the OCM board. This position is not only spurious, but puerile. After all, the government is not a private entity that spent its own money to buy OCM shares. Instead, the shares were only acquired because two different administrations under the late Bastio Ponde and Patrick Manning failed to rein in CL Financial's overreach. The bailout was therefore financed by tax-paying citizens, many of whom oppose the present maneuver by the government. This widespread public agreement with the OCM shareholders' decision shows that citizens understand the principle of press freedom. It appears that the government does not.
You know, Tommy, Brian Manning says, and I'm paraphrasing here, they appoint him to the board because of the decline in the shares of the company.
Right.
What? Tommy, why when they give them fellas things to read, they don't vet it before they just go out and say the same, say dotishness? How could you appoint somebody, that person? I mean, all right, let me say we have expertise that he worked at a previous company, like he worked at the Trinidad and Tobago Stock Exchange then. That's as an example.
Right.
Or he had some type of stock experience.
So he understands what he's working with.
Yeah, so how he go? You are appointing he because of the decline in the shares. Like if one person could stop the shares from declining.
Maybe an investor hearing that he's on the board will up his investment. Maybe just his name. Maybe just name recognition, or should I say?
Yeah, but that stock been losing. It's been going down ever since for the past few years. That doesn't have anything to do with who's on the board. That has to do with the performance of the company.
Management of the portfolio.
Yes. How much money? What is the profit? How much money they're making or they ain't making? Right?
Yeah, it's the way they manage the portfolio.
Them fellas and them good, eh? Let me play this voice note. Then I'll play one other another senior counsel right to OCM. Let me play this voice note. Hold on.
Wall Street, if the PNM win this general election 2025, it shows that Trinidadians in the Caribbean is the most stupidest people it have in the Western Hemisphere. Anytime Dr. Rowley win this election, and especially African people, they don't like their own. If African people go and vote for Keith Rowley, they don't like their own.
Well,
what else is new?
Yes, the man win the last two elections. You know? You understand?
Exactly.
Win the last two elections. So let's listen to the senior counsel wrote to OCM. Let's take a listen to this. Take a listen to this, folks.
Senior counsel demands list of all who voted in One Caribbean Media Ltd shareholders meeting. Legal letter sent to OCM on heels of shareholders meeting. The National Investment Fund, NIF, has sent a legal letter to One Caribbean Media Ltd, OCM, requesting the list of all of OCM's shareholders and the number of them who voted for and against the two individuals nominated by the government to join the media house's board of directors. OCM has been given 7 days to provide this information, which NIF says will help determine whether the shareholders meeting in which the government's nominees were rejected was conducted legally. The letter, titled Request of Information and Inspection and dated July 12, was sent by Senior Counsel Deborah Peake to OCM's Company Secretary, Carleen Ng Tang, yesterday. The letter comes on the heels of OCM's 56th annual meeting of shareholders, which was held at Express House, Port of Spain, on Thursday, when shareholders rejected the nomination of insurance executive Dale McLeod and head of government relations at Digicel Shaka Subaru to become directors on the OCM board. When the issue of the election of McLeod and Subaru to the board was raised, shareholders in the standing room-only meeting expressed concerns. This led the representative for NIF, which holds a 23% ownership in OCM as part of the $30 billion Clico bailout by the government, to call for a poll to gauge shareholder consensus on the nominations. When the poll was completed, the results showed 23,997,642 votes against McLeod's election and 23,229,443 votes for it, while the results for Subaru's were more decisive, with 28,684,368 votes against him and 18,542,717 votes for NIF's requests. In her letter to Ing Tang yesterday, Peak reminded that NIF is the largest shareholder of OCM, holding 15,285,917 shares. And as such, Peak said NIF is requesting the following information. 1. The names of the Series A shareholders. 2. The names of the Series B shareholders. 3. The number of Series A shareholders who voted at the annual general meeting held on July 11, 2024, AGM. 4. The number of Series B shareholders who voted at the AGM. 5. The number of shareholders who submitted proxy forms authorizing the chairman of the meeting to vote for them. In addition to this information, NIF also requested inspection of 1. OCM's share register that was utilized for the AGM. 2. The record of the votes cast at the AGM. 3. The proxy forms and the identification documents, where provided, of the persons who submitted proxy forms for the AGM. Kindly provide the requested information within the next 7 days, and let me know the date and time that my client's representatives may attend at the registered office of the company to conduct the above inspection, the letter stated. It has been reported in today's Daily Express newspaper that the chairman of OCM stated that the meeting was conducted in a very professional and orderly manner. The above information and inspection will enable my client to satisfy itself that the meeting was conducted in accordance with the law, the articles and bylaws of the company, and will demonstrate that the company is committed to transparency and accountability, it stated. Following the shareholders' meeting on Thursday, OCM's chairman, attorney Fariz Hossain, said, a poll was requested by a shareholder with respect to the election of 2 NIF nominees to the OCM board. This process was overseen by an independent scrutineer, and after tabulating the votes, the shareholders expressed their view. Concerns raised. Even before Thursday's meeting, OCM had expressed concerns about the nomination of Subaru, in particular, to its board. In a notice dated June 17, OCM stated that it informed the shareholder making the nomination that Mr. Subaru's nomination will not enjoy the support of the OCM board and company management for the following reasons. He is a senior employee with an organization that competes with one or more of OCM's companies, placing him in a position of substantial conflict as a director. In addition, his affiliation with the company's competitor, where his responsibilities include government relations, could challenge the desired and perceived independence required of a director of One Caribbean Media Ltd., it added. However, despite the concerns raised, the OCM board stated the nominating shareholder has declined to withdraw the nomination of Mr. Subaru and has insisted that his name be placed in nomination for election as a director of the company. Mr. Subaru's nomination and consequently his election as a director is not supported by your board of directors, the notice stated. Speaking in Parliament earlier this month, Minister in the Ministry of Finance Brian Manning defended the government's nomination of McLeod and Subaru, stating that it was done out of concern for the precipitous decline in the value of OCM shares. Manning said there had been a precipitous decline in the value of OCM shares since the government acquired ownership. OCM shares have plummeted over the last 6 years from a value of $12 when they were acquired in July 2018 to a value of $3.68 on July 1, 2024, a decline of $8.32 per share or 69.3%. This has reduced the government's asset value held in OCM shares, and by extension the National Investment Fund, company and the taxpayers of Trinidad and Tobago, by $127.2 million, Manning stated then. In November 2020, OCM Chief Executive Officer Dawn Thomas blamed active market manipulation for the decline in the media-dominated conglomerate's share price. She said although OCM reported double-digit increases in its after-tax profits in its first and third quarters, nothing has happened with the share price. She said after the company delivered a 15% improvement in its profit after tax, the share price started to go downwards. In October 2020, Chairman Hossain wrote to the country's securities regulator, the TTSEC, requesting a formal investigation into a number of purchases and sales of OCM's shares since the start of that year. In the letter to TTSEC, Hossain identified 22 instances of significant declines of the OCM share price between January 13 and October 9, zeroing in on one shareholder who consistently sold shares at a lower price than they purchased them, driving down the share price. Hossain said all shares, with the exception of one block on May 5, 2020, were sold at a price lower than the purchase price.
For me, they need to hire me to do an investigation. I fixed it for them.
Yep.
I fixed one OCM for them. I fixed it easy. That's an easy fix. I fixed it for them. You understand? Yeah. But let me read. Let me see this. This is all right. This is Baka. Good afternoon, gentlemen. We must understand that the greater part of budgetary allocations to these various ministries go towards recurrent expenditures, salaries, operational expenditure, etc. This leaves little or nothing to actually implement meaningful objectives to benefit this country and, more importantly, its people in the long run. Sad state. Ms. Second, unless you and your objective is to empower people in the various levels, for this to be realized and not just to build a voting bank, your cause is doomed to fail. There I said it with no apologies. So that's a person sending a text. RL Baka. He always send text. Yes, they send voice notes, man, to make it easier. Just play them. Yeah, Tommy. So you see, Tommy, appointing that fella, really, them fellas and them, that just the PNM government, the RPNM government appointing people to corrupt that board again. Them fellas and them can't do nothing to change this price of that stock.
I'm glad the shareholders thought different.
Reject them. Yeah, reject them. I'm glad. But Tommy, even worse, there was a central bank report on the energy sector in Trinidad, you know. So folks, listen to this.
Another setback for Prime Minister Rowley. Central Bank report, energy sector continues downwards. The central bank's monetary policy report up to May 2024, released on Friday, said the energy sector is expected to continue on a downward trajectory this year. The report added that there was a noticeable dip in economic activity in the third quarter of last year, but indicators monitored by the central bank are suggesting a rebound for the final quarter of that year and the first quarter of 2024. The report said economic growth in the third quarter of 2023 was hindered by low output in the energy sector. Taking data from the CSO, central bank said real GDP fell by 2.3% year-on-year because of an overall 10.3% contraction in the energy sector. The report said petroleum support services fell by 34.8%, natural gas exploration and extraction fell by 11.3%, refining, including liquefied natural gas, dropped by 11%, condensate extraction went down by 10.2%. Petrochemical manufacturing also went down by 9.9% and crude oil exploration and extraction went down by 9%. The report said all subsectors also experienced contractions except the asphalt subsector, which saw a 20.5% improvement. Sales in the construction materials and hardware sector fell by 16.1% and reduced local sales of cement, point to a contraction in the construction sector by 2.9%. Manufacturing also contracted by 2.1%. The downward trajectory of the energy sector is expected to continue in 2024. Looking at preliminary data from the Ministry of Energy, Central Bank said crude oil production fell by 10.4% and natural gas production dipped by 1.4% for the first quarter of the year, when compared to the same period in 2023. Methanol and ammonia production also fell by March 8 and February 4% respectively. However, despite upstream setbacks, natural gas liquids production remained resilient, recording a 16.3% improvement year-on-year. The non-energy sector picked up the flag, driving economic activity in the fourth quarter of 2023 and the first quarter of 2024. The sector was supported by growth in the trade and repairs sector by 11.7%, the financial and insurance activities sector by 1.6%, the accommodation and food services sector by 1.5% and domestic services by 1%. Central Bank said the CSO's retail sales index suggested improved economic activity with retail sales expanding by 4.8%, textiles and wearing apparel by 6.2%, household appliances, furniture and other furnishings by 4.7% and a 1.5% increase in the sale of dry goods. The sector's strong activity was also seen in an uptick in supplementary indicators in the first quarter of 2024, with cashless payments increasing by 6.9% coming from an increase in the volume of ATM and internet banking transactions. Transportation and storage remained strong, with a 7.1% increase supported by air travel. The report added that wholesale and retail trade excluding energy increased by 5.8% and electricity and water sales, excluding gas, increased by 4.3%. Overall, the non-energy sector expanded by 1.3%. The repo rate remained unchanged at 3.5%.
Tommy, you hear how much the energy sector is losing as far as downsizing is concerned? You hear the numbers as opposed to the upside? It's frightening.
Yeah.
It's frightening, no?
Yep.
And this is a central bank report, you know. This is not a report from somebody just making this central bank, you know. Tommy, buddy, I don't know what to say, but Tommy, I wanted to get to some news of the day, which is what happened with 45.
Yeah.
We don't wish that on anybody.
Yeah, that's sad.
Yeah. We don't wish that on anybody, but here it is.
Then, if you want to really see something that's sad, take a look at what happened.
I mean, that was. You know, the person who did it was identified, right?
20-year-old.
Yeah.
They killed him.
Yeah, they killed him. They had yeah. Let me see if I have that picture here. I mean, why I don't like them kind of things, man. You know?
Gun violence.
Gun violence, man. This is it here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just don't think that's good for anybody. Right? So here is the person who was there. Listen to what they had to say.
Then, if you want to really see something that's sad, take a look at what happened.
And listen to the rally, right? We couldn't see him, but we could hear him. So we walked up,
in probably 5 to 7 minutes of Trump speaking. I'm estimating here. I have no idea, you know. But we noticed a guy crawling, bear crawling up the roof of the building beside us, 50 feet away from us. So we're standing there, you know, we're pointing at the guy crawling up the roof.
And he had a gun, right?
He had a rifle.
A rifle.
We could clearly see him with a rifle. Absolutely. We're pointing at him. The police are down there running around on the ground. We're like, hey, man, there's a guy on the roof with a rifle. And the police were like, huh, what? You know, like they didn't know what was going on. You know, we're like, hey, right here on the roof. We can see him from right here. We see him. You know, he's crawling. And next thing you know, I'm thinking to myself, why is Trump still speaking? Why have they not pulled him off the stage? I'm standing there pointing at him for, 2-3 minutes. Secret Service is looking at us from the top of the barn. I'm pointing at that roof, just standing there like this. And next thing you know, 5 shots ring out.
So you're certain that the shots came from that guy on the roof?
100%. 100%.
And he was up there for a couple of minutes.
He was up there.
You saw him up there for a couple of minutes.
Absolutely. At least 3 to 4 minutes.
And you were telling police and the Secret Service.
We were telling the police. We were pointing at him for the Secret Service, who were looking at us from the top of the barn. They were looking at us the whole time when we were standing by that tree.
Could they see
binoculars?
Could they see him?
Probably not, because the roof, the way the slope went, he was behind where they could see. But why is there not Secret Service on all of these roofs here? I mean, this is not a big place.
Did you see, I mean, obviously everyone, when the shooting started, everyone was very panicked. Did you see what happened to him at all?
Oh, yeah, they blew his head off.
Okay, sorry.
Secret Service blew his head off.
Okay, just be careful because we don't quite know who's watching, but you're pretty sure they shot the guy?
Absolutely, 100%.
Okay.
Yep.
You saw that happen?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
And did you see them go up to him afterwards, or?
They crawled up on the roof. They had their guns pointed at him, make sure he was dead. He was dead, and that was it. It was over. And what?
Because the guy he looks dead. Lá em cima, né? Aqui, ó. We can see the guy there. I think they hit him because the guy he looks dead.
Let me bring back Ryan Riley. They were able to put this ID out fairly quickly at the press conference. They said they wanted to make 100% sure. They talked about potentially running some DNA, but now they have confirmed it. You can say that with certainty, yes?
Yes, that's right. Thomas Matthew Crooks, a 20-year-old from Bethel Park, Pennsylvania, has been formally identified by the FBI as the suspected person who attempted an assassination on former President Donald Trump just hours ago. So now the FBI has put that name out there. But I think the big question is how the FBI is going to continue to put out information about this assassination attempt and how that interaction is going to work between the FBI and the Secret Service, because really this is kind of almost a look at what went wrong with the Secret Service's protection detail here and the failures that sort of went into this. And I think, you might end up with a situation where an inspector general gets involved in this investigation as well. And obviously Congress is going to be super interested, especially, on House Republicans and I think Democrats as well, obviously with the failures that are pretty clear here in terms of that sweeping of that roof, making sure that a roof that was that close to where Donald Trump was speaking and had that elevated position and was only really a couple football fields away, not even from where he was speaking, did not have coverage at that point, and what went wrong, how they can fix this, and how they can prevent this from happening in the future. But you could end up with situations where you just aren't seeing those sort of rallies, or at least there are different places where there's not a strategic advantage for someone to be that far away, because, this was inches away, really, from a really different outcome here, Chris.
A catastrophic outcome, without a doubt. Ryan, talk a little bit more, and you touched on this, but assuming there is a digital footprint, and it's very, very rare to find someone these days who doesn't have one, the kinds of things they'll be looking for and may be able to find through it?
What's actually kind of remarkable is we've seen this unfortunate circumstance where people will try to do these fakes of suggest that someone else who actually isn't that person is that person, right? So there's all these attempts to try to trick and fool reporters, and that's sort of what we're working through right now. There's been a number of Instagram handles, for example, that were changed to this name because that name had been out there on social media before the FBI formally confirmed it. And so people trying to trick reporters and say, oh, this was this person. There was one image of one prominent individual who's sort of a right-wing extremist that was being floated out there and saying, oh, here's this footage. People would put that image in other people's social media profiles. So it requires a lot of work on the back end on our reporting and making sure we're being thorough about this before we put it out there. And I mean, this is something that you have to be really careful about. And unfortunately, in the world we're living in today, there's a lot of people trying to put out bad information. So we really have to make sure this is vetted before we put it out to the public, which is sometimes why we sort of take a pause on this reporting and make sure that we're getting things out there and we're not putting misinformation out there to the general public, Chris.
Tell me, boy.
Mm-hmm.
I saw it anyhow you take it.
Yep. But handguns are easily accessed.
Yeah, man. I don't wish that on anybody. But yeah, let's go for the break. So, folks, it's Sunday Talk. Let's talk politics with Uncle Tommy, Professor Wall Street, and you. We're gonna go for a quick break, and we'll be right back to wrap up. Don't go nowhere. Stick and stay. We'll be right back.
You're listening to WZYE 95.9 FM. You are listening to WZYE 95.9 FM, the most influential name in Caribbean radio in the tri-state area. Broadcasting from East Orange, New Jersey, the most influential name in Caribbean radio, WZYE 95.9 FM.
We are back with you. It's Sunday Talk. Let's talk politics with Uncle Tommy, Professor Walsh, and you on WZYE 95.9 FM. We come to you every Sunday from 1 to 4 p.m. Every Sunday from 1 to 4 p.m. So, folks in the chat, if you want to put your closing comments in the chat, put your closing comments in the chat. And Tommy, let me take this one. Point 14, welcome.
Oh, shoot. That video we just paid a concert in Chumbe. Last night when I saw that news, and I see eating here my ears and then we talk. And after the news, I play it and stuff. I said, wait now. I said, wait. I said, by faith, that person who do that shooting is an amateur. Because they don't know who it was. Because when I was saying there was a real experienced sniper, Trump is a dead man. Because watch 148 yards. Yeah. A real sniper when I take you out right. But I tell myself, that person who do that is an amateur. And the guy were only 20 years.
Yeah.
I say that to say this. What people have a saying, when a neighbor house on fire, wet yours. Doctor and listening.
Yeah, man, bless.
Mm-hmm.
You know it is good, man.
Yep.
You know it is good, Tommy. You know it is good. I put that video together with all the information you sent me point forth, and we go play that tomorrow. It's really funny. It's really funny. Let me see something. Okay, let me try something. No, that one too long. Okay, hold on. Let me see how long this one is. Okay, we go play that one tomorrow. That is a video with all the I put all that all them things he sent us
in one.
Yeah, I put it in a video, and some of the things were like, but I fix it up. We go play that tomorrow. So, folks, it's always a pleasure. You join us. Put your closing comments in the chat. My closing quote is, stop allowing people to show you twice what they have already showed you once. Stop allowing people to show you twice what they have already showed you once. From where I sit, this is it. The clock on the wall said that's all I like to say, but I've got to go. Remember, hard work beats talent. when talent does not work hard. And for every 60 seconds of anger, you lose 1 minute of happiness. Remember, your circumstances may determine who you are, but you are responsible for who you become. And I want to say thank you again to Miss Anne Natasha II for joining us here today. You know, you have a bright future in politics in Tobago. Bright future. Continue along the path that you're going. Don't let nobody stop you. Go ahead, Tommy.
I'd like to thank you and thank Anne. But you said stop. I'm gonna start with stop too. Stop making excuses. You're the only one that's stopping you. Like I always say, you, the man in the mirror, have to become that change you want to see. However, if you look in the mirror and don't like what you see, do not blame the mirror. Like I always say, never look down on a person unless you're giving them a hand up. Love you all. Be safe. See you tomorrow, God willing.
Thank you, Tony.
You're welcome.
We always go out with this song. Folks, see you guys tomorrow, same time. Well, different time, 7 to 10 p.m. WZYE 95.9 FM. We out of here. Bye-bye.
This is oh Lord, Trinidad and Tobago. This is DJ Bravo. I'm hurting you up. This is a sad place. My country turned into a sad place. When I look around, it's only sad face. Our country turned into a sad place. All I see in front of me, nightmares turn into reality. Like somebody build a monster factory. Parliament up against parliament economy. But let the moderator sin another body in a drain. Somebody girl child missing, another rape again. And next road stain with somebody's sunburn. Who take the S out of Port of Spain? This is a sad place. My country turned into a sad place. When I look around, it's only sad face. Our country turned into a sad place. Now with the love, with the vibes, with the hope. Now tell me something, how we really want we cope. When the children breathing in too much gun smoke. And the Coast Guard can never see a boat. You're sounding like some goats when they come looking for votes. Sit to empty promises, reading like a horoscope. Justice for sale in a fat envelope. Politically, all the answers is a joke. This is a sad place. My country turned into a sad place. When I look around, it's only sad face. Our country turned into a sad place. All I see in front of me, nightmares turn into reality. Like somebody build a monster factory. Parliament up against parliament economy. But let the moderator sin another body in a drain. Somebody girl child missing, another rape again. And next road stain with somebody's sunburn. Who take the S out of Port of Spain? This is a sad place. My country turned into a sad place. When I look around, it's only sad face. Our country turned into a sad place. It doesn't matter the religion, the color, the creed, or the race. It's our responsibility to take care of our place. Champion!
Champion.